Chapter 780. Seeing Jia Yang and the others sitting there peacefully and cultivating, Lin Rui knew that these ultimate gods did not have any ill intentions towards them. In addition to their identity as corpses, Lin Rui could not help but think of the human corpses. Looking at them, Lin Rui took a step forward and arrived in front of the ultimate gods in the blink of an eye. He said with a kind expression, "Don't be nervous. I am with Jia Yang and the others." The human corpses also know each other. In order to not cause any unnecessary misunderstandings, Lin Rui added the human corpses in the end. "Oh, so that's how it is." At this moment, hearing Lin Rui's words and seeing that Lin Rui did not have a trace of killing intent, the corpse brothers thought that they were the most representative corpses and smiled. Looking at the ultimate gods in front of him, Lin Rui could not help but sigh. In the divine realm, there were not many ultimate gods. It was already very good for a sect to have 2 or 3 ultimate gods. Moreover, those were the efforts of the sect's old ancestors and the younger generation's geniuses. But now, looking at the ancient corpse trove, there were more than 10 ultimate gods that casually appeared. In addition to the 3 masters of the ancient corpse trove, Lin Rui could not help but sigh at the strength of the ancient corpse trove. Lin Rui could feel the strength coming from these people in front of him. However, at this moment, Lin Rui did not think that they would be his opponents. The space suddenly became quiet. For a moment, Lin Rui's face revealed an awkward expression as he did not know what to say. Looking at them sitting on the ground cultivating, in the end, Lin Rui could not endure such an atmosphere and immediately transmitted his voice to Pai Xiu and the others, "You all, it's time to wake up." That one sentence instantly exploded in everyone's mind without them noticing. A scream came out from Jia Yang's mouth. On the side, when the Pai Xiu heard Lin Rui's voice, it instantly withdrew from its cultivation. It opened its eyes and scanned its surroundings, looking for Lin Rui's figure. The moment he turned his head, he saw Lin Rui's strong, straight, and unscathed body appear in front of him. For a moment, a smile appeared on his face. He came to Lin Rui's side, looked at him, and scolded with a smile, "You bastard, do you know how dangerous the lightning tribulation is? Are you crazy? If you die, what will I do?" Looking at Pai Xiu, it was obvious that Lin Rui did not expect this scene. However, Lin Rui was not angry at Pai Xiu's teasing. Instead, he felt warm in his heart because he knew that Pai Xiu was caring about him in disguise. However, he was too embarrassed to express it. In response, Lin Rui smiled and replied with embarrassment, I didn't think that the corpse tribulation would be such a powerful lightning tribulation. However, it's no wonder. After all, it's not in the 5 elements. Transcending reincarnation? You brat. Seeing that Lin Rui was safe and sound, Pai Xiu did not say anything else. However, after seeing that Lin Rui was safe and sound, a smile that was rarely seen before was still on his face. "Lin Rui, you." At that time, Pai Xiu retreated and Jia Yang also walked over. He looked at Lin Rui with a worried and excited expression. He wanted to say something, but after saying a few words, he was unable to say anything else. "I'm fine. Don't worry. I haven't brought you back to the sect yet. How could I let you off so easily?" Knowing what Jia Yang wanted to say, Lin Rui joked. PFFF. Hearing Lin Rui's words, Jia Yang was unable to hold back and burst out laughing. Lin Rui. Just when Lin Rui and Jia Yang were talking and laughing, a voice suddenly rang out. This voice. Lin Rui was very familiar with this voice. It was none other than the corpse of the first Heaven Sky Master. Seeing the human corpse walking over, Lin Rui had a trace of a smile on his face. Then, he said, "How is it? Right now, your choice is, I promise you that I will join your sect and become a member of your sect. I will be loyal to your sect for all eternity and will never betray you. If I violate this oath, I will be struck by 10,000 bolts of lightning and die in ashes. Asterisk rumble, asterisk suddenly, the instant the human corpse finished speaking, thunder rumbled in the sky. It was as if it was responding to the human corpse's oath. It was as if the oath was acknowledged by the great Tao. On the side, hearing the human corpse's words, the smile on Lin Rei's face became even wider. Originally, he thought that it was a double blessing, but now, it was indeed 3. His cultivation increased, the system and the primal chaos dragon spear increased, and now, the human corpse's wish was fulfilled. This caused Lin Rei to want to quickly continue. That way, he would be able to subdue the remaining 2 Sky Masters and obtain the Corpse King pill. Good, good, good. Seeing how resolute the human corpse was, Linley said, good, 3 times in a row. And then, with a thought, he selected a top-grade divine artifact spear from his storage ring, then handed it over to the human corpse. This. Looking at the spear in front of him, the human corpse was stunned. He could feel that this spear was extraordinary. This is for you. Although our first meeting was a little unpleasant, now that you have pledged your allegiance to me, I naturally have to give you a greeting gift. After saying that, Lin Rei stretched out his hand to the human corpse again. The human corpse was speechless. At this moment, the human corpse rolled his eyes. He wanted Lin Rei to experience for himself what it meant to be a little unpleasant to meet for the first time. Just the fact that he was repeatedly injured left the human corpse speechless. However, even so, the human corpse still stretched out his hand to take the spear that Lin Rei handed over. As the saying went, it would be a waste to not take it. He could feel that the spear was extraordinary. Such a good item, he did not find it on the disciples of the sect who entered the ancient corpse vault. Swoosh swoosh swoosh, after receiving the spear, the human corpse immediately waved the spear around. Beautiful and murderous spear flowers could be seen being waved around by the human corpse. Good spear. The human corpse stopped waving his arms and looked at the spear in his hand. He praised the spear with 2 words. It could be seen that the human corpse was very satisfied with the spear that Lin Rei gave him. At this moment, the dozen ultimate god corpses standing behind the human corpse looked at the spear in the human corpse's hand with envy and jealousy on their faces. Their eyes were filled with strong expectations. As an ultimate god expert, who would not wish to have a weapon that they could use as they wished? Unfortunately, they did not have the opportunity to obtain a weapon that was suitable for them since they grew up in the ancient corpse vault. Lin Rei naturally saw the expectations in the ultimate god's eyes. However, it had nothing to do with him. Of course. If they were willing to pledge their allegiance to him, Lin Rei could still consider it. He shifted his gaze away from the corpses of the ultimate gods and said with a firm expression, "All right, now that we're done here, it's time to move on to the next stop, the second heaven." Yes. Yes. It has been 10 years since we came to the ancient corpse vault. We must speed up. At this moment, Pai Xiao nodded in agreement after listening to Lin Rei's plan. What? 10 years? Lin Rei suddenly asked in surprise. He did not ask about the time when he came out. Moreover, he thought that he had only spent 2 or 3 years in the system. Nonsense. Seeing Linley so surprised, the Pai Xiao rolled its eyes and looked at Linley as if it was looking at an idiot. However, they did not know how important these 10 years were to Lin Rei. Thinking that he would be killed by the poison if he could not send the Corpse King pill back within 100 years, Lin Rei suddenly felt that he must speed up. Because he did not have much time left. Let's go. After making the decision, Lin Rei looked at the human corpse. Looking at him, Lin Rei asked, "Human corpse, will you lead the team from now on? We don't know how to get to the second heaven. Moreover, with you leading the team, it will save us a lot of trouble on the way." The human corpse was stunned when he heard Lin Rei's words. He thought for a while and finally nodded helplessly, "All right, but I won't do anything when we reach the second heaven. After all, that's my second brother. All right, don't worry about that. Moreover, I will try my best not to do anything wherever we go. Don't worry." Lin Rei could guarantee that. The human corpse was not afraid of Lin Rei's hands. He was afraid that his second brother would suffer Lin Rei's inhumane torture just like him. Lin Rei discussed with the human corpse. However, he did not avoid the ultimate gods who came from the second heaven to protect the human corpse. At that moment, the ultimate gods' faces turned gloomy when they heard that the human corpse and the humans were going to join forces to go to the second heaven. They did not expect that the younger brother of the second heaven's heaven master would lead the humans to attack the second heaven. However, even so, they did not make a move because they could feel the pressure from his strength. Especially when they saw the long spear on Lin Rei's back, their hearts trembled and palpitated. That feeling came from the weapon. They could not help but quieten down and did not dare to act rashly. "Let's go." Just like that, Lin Rei and the others finally set off again. However, this time, their journey was very smooth and there were no obstacles. Whoosh, a red figure fell from the sky in a sorry state. She looked at the sky with a frightened and ugly expression. Her eyes were filled with anger and unwillingness. "Ha ha ha. Jade-faced Rakshasa, hand over your Buddhist beads obediently. If you do so, we will consider letting you go. After all, it was not easy for you to cultivate to your current level." At that moment, a few figures appeared in the sky and floated in the air. They bent down and looked at the jade-faced Asura who fell to the ground with a cold smile. At that moment, if Lin Rei was here, he would recognize that the person who fell to the ground was none other than the jade-faced Asura who was separated from him in the ancient corpse vault, the ultimate god expert. However, she did not seem to be in a good situation at the moment. You are a group of shameless people. You are at least the ancestors of the 7 sects in the divine realm. I did not expect you to commit murder and robbery. Bah. Chapter 781. Don't say that. The old men didn't take her words to heart at all. It was as if they didn't care at all. You should know that no one in the divine world can resist the temptation of a sacred artifact. I'm afraid that even the strongest of the divine world can't resist this temptation. At this moment, one of them spoke up. The old man who spoke was the old ancestor of the alchemy sect, Dan Chenzi. The alchemy sect had always dealt with matters peacefully. In the past, they would avoid such matters as much as possible. However, a sacred artifact, there was no one in the divine realm who did not want to obtain it. If a saint obtained a holy weapon, it meant that his sect would become the ruler of the god realm. All the other sects would choose to submit to him. Therefore, as the ancestor of the Danzong sect, who never stirred up trouble, he couldn't let the holy weapon be taken away by others. Heh, that's right. Dan Chenzi is right. We must have that thing in your hand. The other 3 old men walked up the mountain and looked at the jade-faced Rakshasa viciously. It was as if the item in the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand was already theirs. Bastards, you all. At that moment, seeing the desire on the faces of the 4 old men before her, as well as the various kinds of greed in their eyes, the jade-faced Rakshasa despaired. She knew that if a miracle did not happen today, her life would end today. Moreover, the jade-faced Rakshasa believed that even if she handed over the item, they wouldn't let her go. They were afraid that this matter would be leaked. Although the 7 sects had a high status in the god realm, there was always someone stronger than them. They couldn't be sure that there wasn't someone stronger than them in the god realm. Therefore, just in case, they had to silence her. Human corpse, how far are we? A group of people flew over from nearby. It's still early. If we fly like this, I'm afraid it'll take us some time to get there. However, if we fly at full speed, I believe will arrive in less than 10 days. At this moment, the one who spoke was none other than the human corpse, the Lord of the First Heaven. The person who spoke was none other than the Pai Xiu of Lin Rei's group. Is it that far? Hearing the human corpse's words, Lin Rei's face revealed a trace of surprise. He didn't expect this ancient corpse trove to be so big. According to the human corpse, this ancient corpse trove was bigger than a province in the divine world. For such a huge place, how powerful would the array formation be? At this moment, Lin Rei's heart trembled. His facial muscles began to twitch, and his eyes widened, filled with shock. One had to know that even he, who was at the peak of the venerable realm, did not have such great confidence in being able to cover an area the size of a province without knowing the formation. Even if he was at the Saint realm, Lin Rei doubted that he could do it. This was very similar to the formation in Jade City. It was a very large formation. Lin Rei had only seen this kind of formation twice in his life. The first was Jade City, and the second was this place. Seeing Lin Rei's shock, human corpse seemed to know what he was thinking. He then slowly opened his mouth and said, "Yes, this place is very big. Rather than calling it an ancient corpse trove, it's better to call it a space created by someone. A very large space, a space created by formations." Huh? Hearing human corpse's words, Lin Rei was stunned. His eyes were filled with surprise. Could it be that you know this place is? Yes, how long have we lived here? We don't even remember. We've already figured out some things here, so. Moreover, we can't leave this place at all. The strange thing is that you can come in and leave at the same time, but we can't. Human corpse fell silent. Not only human corpse, but also the corpses behind human corpse fell silent. They were more willing than anyone else to try life in the divine realm. However, they seemed to be tied up here and couldn't leave at all. At this moment, Linley was deep in thought. He had already learned a lot about their situation on the way here, especially after seeing the seal at the entrance. He was even more clear about it now. However, Lin Rei wasn't worried at all about whether human corpse could leave or not. After all, he had a system. Moreover, Lin Rei believed that the system wasn't simple. Even the Great Tao couldn't detect the existence of the system. Therefore, as long as he put human corpse into the system, he should be able to break the restriction here and take him out of here. When he thought of this, the corners of Linley's mouth curled up into a faint smile. However, when the human corpse noticed this, suspicions began to creep into his heart. Feeling human corpse's strange gaze, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment. Then, he quickly said what was on his mind. "I can take you out of here." It was a clean and direct answer, without any hesitation. What? Human corpse was shocked, and so were the corpses. This was too heaven-defying. How could they not be shocked? However, after being shocked, their faces became sarcastic. How is that possible? How can you take us out of here? We can't leave at all. Disappointment, despair, and endless pain appeared in human corpses and the corpses' eyes at this moment. Lin Rei was stunned by their silence and negativity. Then, he scolded coldly, spineless things. Since you've followed me, do you think I'll leave you here? Just like I promised you before, since I've taken you in, I'll naturally take you out of here. Don't worry about that. I, Lin Rei, am a man of my words. If you don't believe me, you can ask Pai Xiu. Ask him how I treated him back then. Pointing at Pai Xiu, he was speechless. Hearing Lin Rei's reprimand, human corpse and the others were stunned. Then, they looked in the direction of Lin Rei's finger. At this moment, although Pai Xiu was very unhappy with Lin Rei's analogy, he finally nodded in agreement. That's right. Back then, when I was being suppressed, Linley promised to save me in a few hundred years. Back then, Linley's cultivation base was only at the body integration realm. Back then, I didn't believe that he would be able to transcend tribulation. But in the end, reality won out, and he did it. Speaking of this, Pai Xiu's eyes were filled with gratitude. If Lin Rui didn't go there at that time, it wouldn't be long before his soul was completely erased by the formation that suppressed him. This. Looking at Pai Xiu, Human Corpse hesitated, but he gradually believed it in his heart. Because he thought that Lin Rui could miss such a powerful thunder tribulation and become a divine master. Based on this alone, Human Corpse also believed it. After pondering for a few minutes, Human Corpse's eyes became firm. Then, he nodded and said, I believe that the person I chose is not wrong. The person you chose? At this moment, seeing that Human Corpse believed in him, Lin Rui exclaimed softly with a face full of doubt. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's hurry. Hearing Lin Rui's doubt, Human Corpse's face turned red and he quickly interrupted. Then, he abruptly raised his cultivation and increased his speed. Like a rocket, he instantly rushed far away. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, seeing Human Corpse's reaction, the others didn't hide it and burst into laughter. At this moment, Lin Rui and the others were not the only ones who laughed. Even the corpses were the same. They had never seen Human Corpse so cute. Just like this, the others didn't dare to neglect Human Corpse's speed. They increased their speed and chased after him. You're all shameless. Suddenly, after flying for an unknown period of time, a voice that Chun Dan and Jia Yang were familiar with entered their ears. However, unlike before, this voice was filled with despair and fear. This voice is Jade-faced Rakshasa. Seeing the uncertainty on Jia Yang's face, Lin Rui said. Yes, Jade-faced Rakshasa. Hearing Lin Rui's confirmation, Jia Yang's face showed a trace of a smile. However, his face immediately turned sour because Jade-faced Rakshasa's words just now had a deeper meaning. Looks like there's going to be some fun. At this moment, Lin Rui's face showed a trace of an amused smile. Although time was tight, Lin Rui still had to intervene when he met an acquaintance. Although he wasn't very fond of Jade-faced Rakshasa, there was an old saying. However, as the old saying goes, one more friend means one more path. Moreover, the Jade-faced Rakshasa was an ultimate god expert. Do you want to go and have a look? At this moment, Human Corpse, who was leading the way in front, saw the smile on Lin Rui's face and quickly came to his side to ask. Of course. Of course. Glancing at the corpse, Linley replied. Whoosh. After receiving Lin Rui's order, everyone rushed towards the source of the sound at full speed. At this moment, Jade-faced Rakshasa was lying on the ground with wounds all over his body. Blood Taoists appeared on his body. Pa! A loud and clear sound was heard. Dan Chenzi waved the whip in his hand and directly hit Jade-faced Rakshasa's body. Suddenly, another blood Taoist appeared with blood flowing out. Speak. You've also felt the pain. If you don't speak, then the pain will continue. Your life is very long, and so are the few of us. This pain will accompany you until you hand over the item. Only then will we stop. However, the moment Dan Chenzi hit Jade-faced Rakshasa with his whip, Lin Rui and the others had already arrived in the sky. The scene of Jade-faced Rakshasa being beaten was seen by Lin Rui and the others. Bastard! At this moment, Jia Yang, who was standing beside Lin Rui, saw the Jade-faced Rakshasa who used to travel with them being humiliated like this. His innate sense of justice instantly erupted. All of you, stop. Do you all want to die? Lin Rui didn't expect Jia Yang to act like this. At this moment, everyone was stunned by Jia Yang's roar. At this moment, the few old ancestors who were interrogating jade-faced Rakshasa heard this roar and immediately stopped their actions. They looked up at the sky and were stunned when they saw Lin Rei in the sky. Sigh. Looking at them and then at jade-faced Rakshasa, Lin Rei sighed and took a step forward. In an instant, he appeared beside the old ancestors. Looking at these old men, then turning his head to look at the battered jade-faced Rakshasa, Lin Li sighed and said, "Gentlemen, how about giving me some face? For my sake, let her go." Ha ha ha. When the patriarchs heard Lin Li's words, they were first stunned. Then, they burst into laughter. Face? Who do you think you are? Dao ancestor? Tendo? Or great Dao? Why should we give you face? You're just an early hierarch little thing. How dare you speak such nonsense in front of us? At this moment, one of the four old ancestors spoke. Are you all courting death? At this moment, Lin Rei wasn't angry. Instead, it was the human corpse that was furious. Although he had just followed Lin Rei, he would never allow the people he followed to be humiliated like this. Boom! A muffled sound was instantly heard. An enormous oppressive aura instantly enveloped the four old ancestors. Corpse. At this moment, when they felt this enormous oppressive might, the four old men who had smiles on their faces immediately revealed ugly expressions. They all knew about corpses. There was a rumor in the ancient corpse trove that stated that it was better to provoke humans than the corpse race. This was because the entire ancient corpse trove was ruled by the corpse race. Humph, old fart. My young master asked you to let this girl go. Didn't you hear him? The human corpse didn't care about the four old ancestors. Although he was only a mid-hierarch and had just broken through, he didn't think he was weaker than the four old ancestors. You. At this moment, Dan Yangzi was stunned when he heard the human corpse's words. He retorted with an ugly expression, "What right do you have? Although this is the ancient corpse vault, you should know that we're the ones who caught her." Asterisk whoosh, asterisk bang. A muffled sound was heard. Dan Chenzi, who was speaking earlier, was sent flying far away. His ruddy face turned ashen as he spat out blood. Hiss. This. Dan Chenzi's current appearance had completely shocked the other three old ancestors. Ha! At this moment, Lin Rei liked the human corpse more and more when he saw how decisive the human corpse was. Alright, I'll leave this place to you. It's up to you whether you want to kill them or leave them alive. Lin Rei didn't care about the four old men at all. He ordered the human corpse and slowly walked towards the jade-faced Rakshasa without saying anything else. At this moment, the jade-faced Rakshasa who was lying on the ground was shocked. She was stunned on the spot and her eyes were filled with shock. Lin Rei, who came to her side, looked at her and suddenly smiled. He then woke her up. Are you all right? Are you all right? Can you walk? Ugh. This kid. At this moment, the Pai Xiao who followed behind Lin Rei showed a helpless expression when he heard Lin Rei's words. However, on second thought, Lin Rei was right. There were several beauties at home. How could Lin Rei be interested in someone like her? Moreover, they weren't familiar with each other. Pai Xiao felt relieved when he thought about it. Chapter 782. I'm fine. At this moment, the jade-faced Rakshasa came back to her senses and looked at Lin Rei with gratitude in her eyes. She didn't know what else to say at this moment. The jade-faced Rakshasa was very grateful that this person, whom she had met by chance and couldn't be considered a friend, could save her at her most dangerous moment. It's good that you're fine. Looking at the wounds on her body, Lin Rei took out a healing pill from his storage ring and gave it to her. He said, "Eat it." After eating it, find a quiet place and wait for 30 years to come. After that, leave this place. For the rest of the time, you can raise your cultivation level and consolidate it. Or, you can practice your battle techniques and magic arts to improve your battle techniques to the profound meaning. Then, you won't be so embarrassed when you encounter such problems in the future. Yes. Thank you. The jade-faced Rakshasa nodded and frowned. At this moment, she didn't have the right or the capital to be pretentious because she couldn't afford to be pretentious. She reached out and took the pill from Lin Rei. Then, without any hesitation, she spat it into her mouth. The pill melted as soon as it entered her mouth, leaving a fragrance in her mouth and teeth. The moment a terrifying medicinal effect entered her stomach, it instantly exploded and rushed to her limbs and bones. At this moment, all the injuries on the jade-faced Rakshasa's body began to recover at a speed visible to the naked eye under Lin Rei's pill. One had to know that Lin Rei's pills were all made with the illusory spirit blood fire. In addition, Lin Rei himself was a perfected supreme alchemist, so it wasn't strange for him to have such a medicinal effect. However, in the entire immortal realm, there was no other alchemist who could have such a huge medicinal effect except for Lin Rei. After all, Lin Rei, who had the illusory spirit blood fire, was much stronger than a perfected supreme alchemist who didn't have a strange fire. At this moment, when she felt that Lin Rei's pill was so effective and that her injuries were recovering quickly, the jade-faced Rakshasa became excited. According to the current speed of recovery, it wouldn't take long for the injuries on her hands, the previous injuries on her body, and the hidden injuries that weren't cured in the end to be completely healed. Feeling this, the jade-faced Rakshasa felt even more grateful to Lin Rei. As for the jade-faced Rakshasa's thoughts, Lin Rei didn't know and he didn't want to know. The jade-faced Rakshasa, the jade-faced Rakshasa, the jade-faced Rakshasas, and Rakshasas Rakshasas. Rakshasas Rakshasa, Rakshasa, S TSSSSSS asterisk asterisk asterisk, S asterisk S asterisk B asterisk its, S's, asterisk, SSSA's S, to S's, SSSS. TS's B, S Rakshasa, S the Rakshasa, S des to the zest T speak. T's, T. Looking at them, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment before he came back to his senses. He went to the human corpse and asked, "So, what do you plan to do with these people?" Well. The human corpse was thinking about how to teach the four old men a lesson when he heard Lin Rei's words. He was stunned for a moment before he turned around to look at Chun Dan with hesitation. To be honest, he didn't know how to deal with these old fellows. In the past, these old fellows would take their things and let them cripple their cultivation. Then, he threw him into the horde of corpses and watched the corpses grow bigger and bigger. Godly exalts without cultivation used to enjoy fighting corpses, but now that he was with Linley, he felt that it was a bit inappropriate. Just as Lin Rei and the human corpses' power of silence, one of the corpses turned around and whispered to his companion, "You, take advantage of the chaos and leave. Let's meet the second heaven. Tell the earth corpse what happened here and let him make a decision. Especially tell him that the human corpse has defected to the human and is now leading the human to the second heaven. Let him give the order. Remember, what I told you just now, and what you saw before, you must tell me everything. Don't add any details. Do you understand?" Upon hearing that, the other corpse nodded solemnly and replied, "Don't worry, big brother. How can such a small thing trouble me? Moreover, I'm not the kind of person to stir up trouble and exaggerate things. Don't worry, I'll definitely do what you asked of me." That's good. The other corpse nodded with a smile after hearing the other's assurance. However, what they didn't know was that while they were whispering, Linley had heard everything, including the matter of telling the earth corpses about his arrival and causing the human corpses to betray them. Regarding this, Linley only revealed a faint smile and didn't make any moves to stop them because he felt that there was no need. After all, if he went, the Earth corpses would see him sooner or later. Letting them go and report now would save them the trouble of introducing themselves when the time came. Perhaps the Earth corpse would take the initiative to pledge allegiance to him after hearing his introduction. Of course, Lin Rei knew that this idea might be a little whimsical, but it was not a crime and would not kill anyone. They did not have a chance, and Lin Rei even gave them a chance. Looking at the human corpse's dilemma, Lin Rei said, "All right, don't think about it. Just do as you wish. Don't worry about me, they have nothing to do with me." There was an old saying that in the cultivation world, the strong were respected, the weak were prey to the strong, and the fittest survived. These were the rules of the great Tao. We can't go against it, and it's not fun to go against it. As long as your fist is hard, you're right. Moreover, they've entered your territory, so you can do whatever you want. I don't care. With that, Lin Rei retreated to the side and waited quietly. He came here to relax and rest. It was good that this matter was over, so he could rush to the second layer of heaven in one go. All right, since you've said so, I'll do as you say. Seeing Lin Rei's words, the human corpse was no longer restrained. He rolled up his sleeves and looked like he was ready to do something. It was very funny. Looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei smiled and did not say anything. He found a quiet place, sat down cross-legged, and closed his eyes to rest. At this moment, as Lin Rei closed his eyes to rest and recover the energy in his body, Jia Yang, Pai Xiu, and the chubby, cute, and timid Ba Bao Bao all followed Lin Rei and entered the recovery state. Now, hurry up and leave. At this moment, a voice suddenly appeared. When the human corpse that received the order heard it, his body trembled. He no longer hesitated and immediately hid his aura, used his cultivation, and disappeared from the spot. This series of actions, other than Lin Rei, no one else noticed it. Because Lin Rei and the others entered the recovery state, the human corpse's gaze locked onto the four old men. As for the others, they all entered the recovery state, so, Sensing that they were already far away, Lin Rei's mouth revealed a trace of a strange smile. No one noticed it. You, what are you doing?" said Dan Chenzi in a trembling voice. Because he had been sent flying by the human corpse, his body felt as if it were about to fall apart. His entire body was in pain, and he was old. If it weren't for the fact that he was strong, the human corpse's punch just now would have killed him. The four of them had clearly heard the conversation between Lin Rei and the human corpse. Therefore, at this moment, they were afraid, panicked, and regretful. They regretted that when Lin Rei had said that he would give him face, they had frowned and said yes. If only they had said yes at that time. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. You will reap what you sow, those who kill will be killed by others. Those who humiliate will be humiliated by others. As the saying goes, Tendo is ready for reincarnation. In the end, everything will happen to you. Tisk, well, you'll find out soon enough. Don't worry, one by one. I guarantee that you'll never forget it. Hearing Dan Chenzi's words, the human corpse smiled cruelly. He stretched out his hand, and a cold aura appeared. Whoosh, in the next moment, Dan Chenzi, who had been sent flying, became the first target again. The evil Yin energy released by the human corpse rushed to his side and wrapped around him. Then, it lifted him into the air and walked to the side. When the remaining three saw this scene, they were stunned. Although they were afraid, they couldn't help but want to turn around to check it out. Unfortunately, the moment the human corpse left, the remaining 10 supreme gods worked together to deal with a barrier that could only be seen from the outside, but they couldn't see the outside. The three of them were stunned and immediately gave up. Their bodies went limp, and they sat on the ground. Their bodies and minds were filled with a sense of powerlessness. They regretted hearing the rumors about the corpse king pill and coming out of seclusion. They regretted everything they had done before. Suddenly, a scream was heard. It reached the ears of the three old men. They were very familiar with the scream. Wasn't it Dan Shinzi, who had just separated from them? The scream continued. Dan Shinzi's voice was filled with regret, unwillingness, and pain. The scream completely destroyed the last line of defense in the hearts of the remaining three old men. They wanted to struggle, escape, and resist, but the ones guarding outside were not emperor gods, but more than a dozen ultimate god realm experts. Moreover, judging from their knowledge, those experts were at least mid or late ultimate gods. With such a large group, it would be a problem to break through the barrier surrounding them, let alone escape. At that moment, outside the barrier, the human corpse's hand was dripping with blood. If one took a closer look, one could even see the blood flowing down the human corpse's arm. In front of the human corpse, there was no longer an empty space. A group of corpses had appeared out of nowhere. There were more than 20 of them, and each corpse had a piece of flesh in its hand. Hurry up and eat. This is the flesh of a late ultimate god expert. His flesh is very precious. It's like a supreme treasure. After eating these three, you should be able to develop spiritual intelligence. Then, I'll have a few more capable subordinates in the ancient corpse vault. Looking at the corpses in front of him, the human corpse showed a hint of anticipation. At that moment, Dan Shinzi, who was brought out by the human corpse, was lying on the ground with despair in his eyes. There was a huge hole in his chest, and his internal organs were exposed. It was a very bloody scene. Dan Shinzi's body was trembling violently from the pain. His face was filled with despair. Dan Shinzi's screams had stopped because of the pain. It wasn't that he didn't want to, it was because he no longer had the strength. He was in so much pain that he had no strength left. His enormous vitality was quickly draining away from him under the human corpse's torture. Time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. Finally, Dan Shinzi's entire body was decomposed into the human corpse's stomach. The human corpse did not let the previous night's events end. Following that, it grabbed another person and used the same method to feed the human corpse. In the end, the human corpse completely devoured the human corpse. However, before killing them, the human corpse had already crippled their cultivation. If he didn't do this, he was afraid that these human cultivators wouldn't be able to withstand the pain and would self-destruct, dying together with the human corpse. One by one, in just 2 to 3 hours, 4 highly respected experts of the god realm, who were almost at the peak of existence, were devoured by the human corpse for their own disciples and grand disciples. If this matter were to spread to the god realm, it would probably cause a storm of blood. One had to know that the reason why the 7 sects were able to stand tall was because behind the sects, there was a group of old geezers supporting them. Therefore, if news of this spread, the god realm would probably be plunged into a great war. Finally, after watching the 20 corpses eat the 4 old men, the human corpse waved his hand and dismissed them. After doing all this, he slowly walked over to Linley's side. He stretched out his hand and handed the 4 old men's bags of holding to him. He said, "They've been dealt with. Here are their bags of holding." At this moment, Lin Rei, who had been meditating with his eyes closed the entire time, heard the human corpse's voice and immediately stopped cultivating. He opened his eyes. Looking at the 4 storage pouches and 4 simple and unadorned rings in front of him, Lin Rei smiled. He nodded and said, "All right, it's time for us to set out." As soon as these words came out, it was unknown whether or not everyone was awake, but as soon as Linley said the word, "set off," everyone who had their eyes closed and had been in the midst of training suddenly woke up. They all stood up and began to wait. This scene stunned Lin Rei, but he didn't say anything. He just smiled and let it go. Chapter 783. Let's go." After saying that, Lin Rei got up and ignored the jade-faced Rakshasa. Instead, he led Jia Yang and the others and prepared to leave. They were heading towards the second layer of heaven again. However, right when Lin Rei turned around, the jade-faced Rakshasa who was still recovering from her injuries woke up. She got up and walked to Lin Rei's side. She thanked him, "Fellow Taoist Lin Rei, thank you for saving my life and giving me the medicine." "You don't have to thank me. You don't have to thank me. I've said it before. The reason why I found you is purely a coincidence. That's all. Besides, we're going to leave now. If you don't want to encounter the same thing again, I advise you to leave Urji as soon as possible. Just like what I said before, find a place with no one around and cultivate quietly. Consolidate your cultivation and increase your realm. After 30 years, leave this place directly." Lin Rei felt very helpless after hearing the gratitude from the jade-faced Rakshasa. Just like what Lin Rei said earlier, it was really just a coincidence that he found her. Furthermore, if it wasn't for Jia Yang insisting on coming, Lin Rei likely wouldn't have come either. He wouldn't have saved her either. Thus, in this entire matter, there was really no need to thank him. However, although Lin Rei thought that way, the jade-faced Rakshasa refused to admit it. But jade-faced Rakshasa refused to back down. Although Linli had explained everything clearly, jade-faced Rakshasa still felt extremely grateful towards Linli. After all, he had intervened to save her, and had even given her the pill. "Emin, I understand," the jade-faced Rakshasa nodded. Immediately after, she extended her right hand and aimed her palm at Lin Rei. She chanted an incantation and formed a seal with her left hand. A dazzling golden radiance instantly appeared and illuminated the 9 heavens. Strangely, the instant the golden radiance appeared, the uncomfortable feeling that was originally pervading the air within a circumference of 1,000 miles, other than humans and corpses, instantly disappeared the instant the golden radiance appeared. As for the dense air within a circumference of 1,000 miles, it also completely disappeared at this moment. It was as if it had never appeared in the first place. It was very puzzling. Amen? Sensing the change in their frowns and the golden light in the jade-faced Rakshsa's hand, everyone frowned. Confusion appeared on their faces. They did not understand what the golden light was. It actually possessed such a mysterious power. No one noticed at the moment the golden light appeared, the human corpse instinctively took a step back. Fear appeared on his face, and his eyes were filled with vigilance as he looked at the golden light in the jade-faced Rakshsa's hand. His heart palpitated as if that thing was fatal to him. This is... At this moment, Lin Rei came back to his senses and asked curiously as he looked at the golden object. The moment Lin Rei spoke, everyone, including the human corpse and the others, looked at the jade-faced Rakshasa. Their eyes were filled with doubt and curiosity. They also wanted to know what this thing was and why it was so powerful. Sensing everyone's puzzled gazes, the jade-faced Rakshasa revealed a hint of a mysterious smile. Turning his head to look at Linli, he asked, "Fellow Taoist Linli, do you still remember why I came here in the first place?" Lin Rei was puzzled by the jade-faced Rakshasa's question, but he still replied, "I remember that you said you found a natural treasure hidden here, so I came to look for it." Hiss. Could it be? Lin Rei looked at the golden light in the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand and said in disbelief, "Could it be that? That's right. This is the natural treasure." The jade-faced Rakshasa chuckled when he heard that Lin Rei still remembered what he said back then. He continued, "Tisk, I didn't expect that after so many years, you would still remember what I said back then." Lin Rei blushed with shame at the words of the jade-faced Rakshasa. The reason why he remembered the words of the jade-faced Rakshasa was that Lin Rei had never given up on finding this natural treasure, so, of course, he couldn't say these words out loud, but Lin Rei's expression was indeed very rich. Looking at the jade-faced Rakshasa, Lin Rei smiled awkwardly but elegantly. There, Lin Rei replied. The Pai Xiu looked at Lin Rei with disdain. Others might not know, but he knew Lin Rei's character very well. Back then, because he knew that his blood essence was useful, he shamelessly asked for a drop every once in a while. It was also because of this that the Pai Xiu's realm was only close to the godly venerable realm after so many years. If Lin Rei didn't ask for blood essence, he would probably be at the same level as Xiaofan now. Thinking of this, the Pai Xiu felt ashamed and angry. Blood essence was very important to humans, deities, demons, devils, and so on. Ordinary people wouldn't give up their blood essence. At this moment, Lin Rei, who looked calm, felt the same gaze from the side and immediately turned to look at the Pai Xiu. After a while, the two of them looked at each other and suddenly there was a burst of lightning, crackling and rattling. Lin Rei just happened to understand the meaning of the Pai Xiu's gaze. Suddenly, an awkward expression appeared on his face. The scene was quiet for a while, so quiet that everyone was a little uncomfortable. This is that treasure, and you saw it just now. The reason why I was mentioned by them was because of this thing, so. At this moment, the jade-faced Rakshasa felt the atmosphere was oppressive and quickly opened his mouth to break the deadlock. So, I want to give this thing to you as a gift to repay you for saving my life. As he spoke, the jade-faced Rakshasa reluctantly stretched out his hand and dragged the congenital magic treasure to Lin Rei. You. At this moment, happiness came so suddenly that Lin Rei didn't react and was stunned on the spot. His face was full of disbelief and disbelief. He really couldn't believe that a person could give away a congenital magic treasure directly. Alas! Looking at Lin Rei's expression, the jade-faced Rakshasa naturally knew what was going on, so he quickly said, "You see, I don't have this ability. Even if I do, it will bring me a fatal disaster in the end. Even so, it's better to give this disaster to you. In this way, I believe that no one will, and no one will dare to have any ideas about you." At this moment, Lin Rei finally understood why the jade-faced Rakshasa gave this thing to him. It turned out that he didn't have the ability to protect it, so he wanted to get rid of it quickly. Thinking of this, Lin Li felt a lot more at ease. However, even though his heart was at ease, he still had a look of embarrassment on his face as he said, "How can I do that?" However, at this moment, everyone looked at Lin Rei speechlessly. Even the Pai Xiu directly turned his face away, not wanting to look at Lin Rei. He wanted to let people know that Lin Rei was on his side. At this moment, although Lin Rei said that he was embarrassed, he stretched out his hand and took the congenital magic treasure from the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand. At this moment, everyone was speechless. Ha! At this moment, Lin Rei didn't care about their gazes at all. At this moment, Lin Rei's mind was on the congenital magic treasure. At this moment, after Lin Rei took the congenital magic treasure in his hand, the golden light on it naturally dissipated. At this moment, a string of simple and unadorned beads was exposed on the surface. The beads were smooth and delicate. Each bead was white, as if they were made of bones. When touched, a cool feeling spread from the beads to the palm, then from the palm to the arm and the rest of the body. Hiss, this thing. Sensing this difference, a hint of a smile appeared on Lin Li's face. From the moment he had touched it until now, Lin Li was basically certain that this thing was extraordinary. Oh, a middle-grade congenital spiritual treasure? At this moment, just when he thought that this string of beads was extraordinary, the system suddenly spoke with a hint of surprise. However, the system's words puzzled Lin Rei. He knew about congenital cardinal treasures, but he had never heard of congenital spiritual treasures. Without anyone noticing at all, Lin Li sent a strand of his divine will into the system. Raising his head to stare at the sky, he asked the system, "Hey, what did you just say about protocosmic spirit treasures? Protocosmic spirit treasures and protocosmic spirit treasures, which one is stronger?" In the outside world, all eyes were still fixed on the beads with expressions of admiration. Therefore, in the eyes of the crowd, Lin Rei was immersed in the power of the magic treasure. In the system, after hearing Lin Rei's question, a sigh suddenly appeared. It said helplessly, "Little guy, can you find time to go to the library and fill in the blanks? You still have to ask me about such basic knowledge. If others know about this, don't you think I'll lose face?" I. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei scratched his head in embarrassment and said with a silly smile, "Oh, that. I'll find time to take a look. You should tell me the difference between the two first." Hearing this, the system was also helpless. In the end, it listened to Lin Rei and said, "Since the primitive age, magic treasures have been divided into congenital cardinal treasures, congenital spiritual treasures, acquired cardinal treasures, and acquired spiritual treasures. However, the difference between them is like the difference between you and a divine emperor and I'm a saint. The difference between them is completely different. Just like when Pangu created the world, he left behind the sky-splitting axe, the Pangu sail, and the jade plate of fate. These three treasures were already Taoist instruments. However, because they became Pangu's half-living spiritual treasures in the end, their realms were reduced. At this point, after reading Lin Rei's half-understood expression, the system sighed softly and felt even more powerless. "Alas, you won't understand even if I tell you all this. You only need to know that there are still treasures above congenital cardinal treasures. However, they are beyond the level of your knowledge. Therefore, you only need to know that congenital cardinal treasures are very powerful, so powerful that you can't believe it. As for primordial cardinal treasures and primordial spiritual treasures, they were born from the primordial age. Therefore, if one is destroyed, there will be one less. Treasure this thing in your hand. It's very impressive. It's a mid-stage primordial spiritual treasure and a dharma treasure that carries merit." Hiss. Really? At this moment, Lin Rei understood. When he was on the aqua-blue planet, Lin Rei had read a novel. It was a great advantage to have a magic treasure of merit. If it was in the primitive age, having a magic treasure of merit would be a token to kill without mercy. Even if you killed someone, you wouldn't have any negative karma on you. As the saying went, Tendo is good for reincarnation. Karma comes with karma. If there was a magic treasure of merit, even if you killed someone, no karma would fall on the person who had the magic treasure of merit. As the saying went, there was a cause first, and then there was an effect. If there was no cause, what effect would there be? Therefore, when he heard that the bead in his hands was a magic treasure of merit, Lin Rei couldn't help but become excited. Of course, the system knew what Lin Rei was thinking. It didn't say anything, but it still reminded him, "Remember, when you go to the holy world, you must give me 10,000 years to read the books in the Sutras depository for me. This task is the task I gave you. Do you understand?" Understood. Hearing the system's tough tone, Lin Rei was stunned, but then he nodded and agreed. Seeing Lin Rei agree, the system said, "Since you know, then go out. Remember, take this magic treasure with you at all times. Don't let it leave your body. Of course, at least until all the negative karma on your body is resolved." However, the moment he heard the system's words, Lin Rei felt that he had already left the system space and returned to his body. Alas! After returning to his body, Lin Rei sighed. He hadn't even heard of some of the things that the system had told him. However, the system couldn't explain them all. This was one of Lin Rei's biggest regrets. As such, when he thought about how he would have 10,000 years to understand the Sutras depository after entering the holy world, Lin Rei couldn't help but want to hurry up and cultivate so that he could enter the holy world. Thinking of this, Lin Rei suppressed his excitement and came back to his senses. He thanked the jade-faced Rakshasa with a smile. "Thank you, I'll accept this. With that, Lin Rei put the bead on his wrist and prepared to leave. That. Can I go with you? Suddenly, the jade-faced Rakshasa's voice sounded. In response, Lin Rei chuckled. It seemed that this was the purpose of the jade-faced Rakshasa. Of course, even though he already knew her purpose, Lin Rei still agreed. After all, she had given him such a good thing. Turning around, Lin Rei looked at the jade-faced Rakshasa and chuckled. Then, he nodded and agreed, all right, since that's the case, follow me. Asterisk whoosh, asterisk in an instant, everyone soared into the sky. This time, they used their fastest speed to head to the second layer of heaven. Just like that, Lin Rei and the others set off again. At this moment, in front of the corpse of heaven and earth, a middle-aged man knelt on the ground and hurriedly replied to the earth corpse, "Second master, third master seems to have betrayed us?" What? The earth corpse, who originally had a smile on his face, changed the moment he heard this. He looked coldly at the subordinate on the ground and said, "You have to think carefully about what you just said. How could my third brother betray us? Do you know the consequences of your words?" The earth corpse couldn't understand the betrayal of the human corpse, let alone think in that direction. Chapter 784. The person kneeling on the ground was one of the dozen or so ultimate gods who had separated from Linley's team. After traveling day and night, he finally arrived at his own camp, the second heaven, at noon. After returning, he hurriedly went to the second heaven lord's place and reported what he saw. But now, he had said that the earth corpses were like that. That said, it was normal. After all, the masters of the first, second, third skyrocket were all brothers. Furthermore, they had spent countless years together. Thus, the trust between them was extremely strong. However, when he thought of Lin Rei's strength and the strength of his camp, he could not help but speak again, "Master, Kuan Su, will never lie to you. Third Master has already joined a human called Lin Rei. Moreover, Third Master has broken through to mid-stage ultimate god not long ago." What? Third brother? Third brother has broken through? At this moment, Earth Corpse was shocked. His eyes were filled with disbelief because he knew how powerful the lightning tribulation was when he broke through to the mid-ultimate god realm. If he hadn't found a powerful magic weapon to protect himself, he would have died in the first lightning tribulation. How could Earth Corpse not be shocked when he heard that his master had broken through to the ultimate god realm? Yes, yes. When we arrived, Third Master had already broken through. However, it was not Third Master's lightning tribulation but that human called Lin Rei. Kuan Su's words were shocking. Hiss, at this moment, the Earth Corpse looked at Kuan Su's serious and solemn face in disbelief. He believed it. He believed that his third brother had broken through to the ultimate god realm and also believed in Lin Rei's existence. However, Earth Corpse still did not believe in betrayal. After all, they had been together for millions of years. He did not believe that his third brother would do such a foolish thing and not tell him and his big brother. "Master, all right, that's enough." Kuan Su looked at the Earth Corpse's expression and wanted to say something, but was stopped by the Earth Corpse. Looking at Kuan Su, the Earth Corpse threatened, "Let's end this matter here. I believe third brother won't betray me and big brother. Moreover, although third brother likes to cause trouble, he knows the severity of the matter. So, don't speak of this matter in the future. Moreover, didn't you say that third brother is rushing here? When he arrives, I will personally ask him why." As he spoke, the Earth Corpse pinched his forehead and waved at Kuan Su with a worried expression. "You've been out for decades. It's been hard on you. You can leave now." Hearing this, he knew what his master meant. He sighed and bowed, "Since that is the case, Master, this subordinate will take his leave first." "Okay, go. Remember, today's matter is only between the two of us, understood? Hearing this, Kun Su naturally understood the meaning and nodded repeatedly. Understood. Master, don't worry. Today's matter is only between the two of us. No one else will know. Alright, go ahead. At this moment, Kun Su didn't say anything and calmly left the Earth Corpse's room. Sigh. At this moment, the moment Kun Su left the room and closed the door, the Earth Corpse turned around and looked at the door with a deep gaze. He sighed slightly and revealed a worried expression. Third brother, what are you thinking? Don't you hate humans the most? Why did you bring a human here? He didn't understand. He believed most of what Kun Su said before. The Earth Corpse believed the part about Lin Rei. As for the rest, the Earth Corpse didn't believe it. At this moment, not far away from the second heaven, the third corpse that the Earth Corpse spoke of was rushing towards the second heaven with a worried look on his face. Following behind the Earth Corpse was Lin Rei and the others. At this moment, it had been 8 to 9 days since they rescued the jade-faced Rakshasa. During this period, Lin Rei and the others didn't have any gaps in their journey. Along the way, no one dared to listen. This was also thanks to their strong cultivation. Otherwise, they wouldn't have lasted until now. Alright, when we reach the second heaven, don't make a move first. After all, that's my second brother's territory. I don't want to ruin the millions of years of friendship between us. At this moment, the Earth Corpse who was leading the way suddenly stopped and looked at Lin Rei with a pleading expression. Don't worry about this. Lin Rei agreed with the Earth Corpse's words. Moreover, he didn't plan to make a move. After all, the Earth Corpse was now his subordinate. In addition, he could help them leave this place. Just based on these 2 points, Lin Rei was confident that he could pull the master of the second heaven, the Earth Corpse, into his camp and become his subordinate. Therefore, Lin Rei agreed to the Earth Corpse's request without hesitation. Thank you. Seeing Lin Rei agree, the Earth Corpse smiled and nodded. The worry in his heart was relieved at this moment. Who are you? Suddenly, a few shouts were heard. The sound was so loud that it hurt Lin Rei's eardrums. At this moment, everyone looked in the direction of the sound. Looking over, they saw 4 or 5 Earth Corpses holding weapons in their hands. They were terrified and anxious. They were looking at Chundan like door gods, ready to fight at any moment. At this moment, the human corpse's face darkened when he heard the shout. Without waiting for Lin Li to speak, he took a step forward and shouted at them, "Are you all blind? Don't you recognize me? You're the third master." At this moment, the 4 or 5 Earth Corpses saw the Earth Corpse that stepped out. Their expressions changed and a trace of pain appeared on their faces. They quickly apologized, sorry, At this moment, the 4 or 5 Earth Corpses seemed to be especially afraid of the Earth Corpse. The moment they saw that the person who shouted was the Earth Corpse, their bodies began to tremble unnaturally. Naturally, Lin Li saw this strange phenomenon. At this moment, Lin Li was not only curious about the human corpses, but he was also curious about the reason why they were so afraid. Since you know it's me, why aren't you making way? Let us pass. Looking at them, the Earth Corpse rolled his eyes at them and made way. In the end, he retreated behind Lin Rei. Hiss. This. When that scene landed in the eyes of the 4 or 5 corpses, it could simply be said to be horrifying. At this moment, they thought that their eyes were bad and they were seeing things. They immediately rubbed their eyes, but the result told them that they were not seeing things. This scene was real. Lin Rei did not say anything about the Earth Corpse's actions. He smiled and stepped forward, flying towards the second layer of heaven. Along the way, Lin Rei and the rest encountered many Earth corpses. However, when the Earth corpses saw the Earth corpse following behind Lin Rei, they all distanced themselves. It could even be said that they fled. Although Lin Rei was puzzled, he did not ask. This was because he was at the second layer of heaven. After flying for a short distance, a Earth corpse that Lin Rei was familiar with walked up to them. He bowed to the Earth corpse and said, "Third Master, Second Director said that you can go in directly to find him." This Earth corpse was not the same Earth corpse. The one who spoke was Kuan Su. The Earth corpse did not even look at Kuan Su. He nodded and led Lin Rei towards a magnificent palace. The Xianhong Palace was where the Earth corpses lived. At the same time, it was also the Earth Corpse training hall. Everyone was forbidden to enter this place. Of course, the Earth Corpse was an exception. When they arrived in front of the palace, Lin Rei stopped and looked up at the huge palace. He could not help but exclaim, "Tsk tisk, it's so magnificent. It's comparable to the main palace of my Xuanzong sect." However, although it's magnificent, it lacks Taoist connotation. Although it's huge, it's not a first-rate Dharma artifact. You're right. This palace of mine is only built from the body of a mountain. Suddenly, a voice was heard. Hearing this sudden voice, Lin Li was startled. A look of embarrassment appeared on his face as he laughed. There was originally no one at the entrance. However, not long after the voice was heard, a young man in a gorgeous brocade robe appeared at the entrance of the main palace. He had his hands behind his back. This person is not simple. At this moment, looking at the young man, Lin Rei's first thought was that this person was not simple. Just by looking at his aura, he could tell that he was a leader. Appearing in the main hall with such an attitude, and with such an extraordinary aura, Lin Li didn't need to think too much to know that this was the master of the second layer of heaven, the Earth Corpse. Thinking about it, Chen Dan cupped his hands and said, "I'm Lin Rei. I didn't know the etiquette when I came out of your precious land. I hope the master of the second heaven will forgive me." The master of the second heaven? Isn't that the Earth Corpse? At this moment, Jia Yang, who was following beside Lin Rei, was shocked when he heard Lin Rei's words. His eyes widened as he looked at the young man standing at the entrance of the main palace in shock. Second brother. Without waiting for Jia Yang, the human corpse's voice was heard from behind. The human corpse walked out of the group and towards the Earth Corpse. Sigh. Lil San, you really don't make people feel at ease. You said you were going to make a breakthrough, but you didn't say anything. Don't you know how strong the intermediate ultimate God's tribulation is? Immediately, the Earth Corpse looked at the human corpse, who walked out with a helpless and reproachful face. Big Brother said to tell you when you're going to make a breakthrough to the intermediate ultimate God realm. Look at you, if Big Brother knew about this, you, Looking at his second brother, the human corpse nodded his head in embarrassment. Okay. Second brother is right. It's my fault. It's my fault. But you don't know, at that time, it was too dangerous. The sign of a breakthrough came too quickly. I'm worried that if I missed that chance, I don't know how long it would take for me to encounter such a good opportunity again, so. The human corpse shrugged his shoulders and stopped talking. He lowered his head as if he was admitting his fault. At this moment, seeing the human corpse like this, Lin Rei and the others who were familiar with the human corpse were stunned. Their faces showed a strange expression. Damn, is this still the arrogant and despotic human corpse from before? This thought appeared in everyone's mind. Okay, I'll let you off this time. I've told Big Brother about this. The Earth Corpse looked at his third brother and said dotingly. Then, his gaze fell on Lin Rei again. Looking at Lin Rei and the others, the Earth Corpse gestured for them to enter and said, "You're our guests. Cultivation base, please come in. Okay. Then I'll accept your invitation. Lin Ray did not refuse the Earth Corpse's invitation. He nodded to the group behind him and strode into the main hall. The main hall was very simple. There was basically nothing in it. Other than tables and chairs, there was only a futon left. Walking into the main hall, Lin Ray instinctively pulled out a futon upon seeing such a loot. Not only Lin Ray, but even Pai Xiu and the others were the same. Pai Xiu knew how magnificent the Xuanzong sect's palace was. Although it could not be compared to the untainted era, it was still one of the best. Compared to this place, it was like the difference between heaven and earth. They were simply not on the same level. Of course, he couldn't say such words out loud. At this moment, Linley looked at such a concise place, and hurriedly praised the Earth Corpse. As expected, the master of the second layer of heaven really views money as dirt. You have a vision that transcends the secular world. At this moment, after hearing Lin Ray's words, the Earth Corpse staggered and almost fell down. Then, he said with a red face, "You're overpraising me. It's not that I've transcended the secular world. It's just that there's nothing else in this ancient corpse trove. These things were taken from those outsiders." Lin Ray was speechless. He did not say anything and went to a seat and sat down. As for the human corpse, he did not stop and pulled the Earth Corpse into a room. In this regard, Lin Ray did not stop him because he knew why the human corpse was doing this. In the room, the Earth Corpse calmly looked at his third brother and said, "Speak, what's going on? Don't you hate humans the most? Why would you?" The Earth Corpse did not finish his words. Instead, he turned his head and looked at Lin Ray outside. Knowing his second brother's meaning, the human corpse smiled and explained, "Second brother, although I hate others, this Lin Ray, I really admire him. Moreover, he didn't kill me before. He risked his life to help me withstand the fatal lightning tribulation. Moreover." At this point, the human corpse suddenly became serious. The Earth Corpse was stunned and couldn't help but become serious as well. "Moreover, Lin Ray was able to bring us out of this sealed space. He can let us, a race that can only live in darkness, return to the God realm. Return to the God realm where we were worried about, where we were heartbroken, and where we were able to laugh and talk. Tell me, if you were in my shoes, what would you choose? He is your savior, and he can let you out of this place and return to the God realm. Tell me, if you were me, what would you choose?" At this moment, the human corpse's words pierced the heart. Every word was sonorous and powerful. Every word carried a huge temptation to the corpse race. Chapter 785. At this moment, the Earth Corpse wanted to refute. However, the moment the word left his mouth, he felt as if a hand was strangling his throat, preventing him from speaking. The human corpse's words were very tempting. He also believed that even if the Sky Corpse, their big brother and the owner of the ancient corpse vault, was here, he would not hesitate to agree to Linley's conditions if he heard that he could escape from this cage that was like a trapped beast. At this moment, the Earth Corpse was silent. He didn't know what to say, but he was also a little worried. Although Lin Ray said that he could bring physical strength and the others away, he hadn't really done it yet. At most, it was just a verbal promise. Seeing the worry in his second brother's eyes, the human corpse wasn't stupid. He knew what his second brother was worried about, so he didn't force him. "Second brother, I've already said this. Really, I believe in Lin Ray. He was able to help me pass through the lightning tribulation by himself. Moreover, he was able to break through during the lightning tribulation. I believe that with your strength, I've already agreed to join Lin Ray's sect, so. I'm sorry, second brother. In the future, I can't listen to your teachings anymore." Seeing the Earth Corpse hesitating, the human corpse was slightly disappointed. He didn't say anything else and looked at the people outside. As for the conversation between the human corpse and the earth corpse, he believed that everyone present could hear it. He also believed that the earth corpse knew that he could hear it. Seeing the human corpse walk out of the room with a disappointed expression, Lin Rei smiled and said to him, "Don't be so disappointed. Everyone has their own ambitions. Since he doesn't want to believe me, I won't force him. After all, I won't lose anything." Jia. As Lin Rei spoke, the earth corpse walked out of the room. He happened to hear Lin Rei's words and was stunned. However, he quickly regained his senses. Seeing Lin Rei's reaction, the human corpse sighed and didn't say anything else. He then sat down beside Lin Rei and didn't say anything else. However, because of what happened just now, the human corpse was a little depressed. The human corpse was just a little depressed. Lin Rei naturally saw the earth corpse's appearance. Looking at him, Lin Rei stood up, smiled, and cupped his hands. He said to the earth corpse, "Earth corpse, let's cut to the chase. You and I are both sensible people. This time, I'm not here to make you my enemy." "Oh? That is." Hearing Lin Rei's words, the earth corpse, who was slightly worried before, calmed down. This was because when Lin Rei arrived, he felt an oppressive aura from Lin Rei's body. This oppressive aura made him very uncomfortable. He had even felt this feeling from his big brother before. However, because they were brothers, the sky corpse gave him an oppressive feeling, but it was not a big deal. However, the pressure on Lin Rei's body was different. This kind of pressure made him dizzy, and even made him feel as if all the blood in his body was pouring into his heart, making him feel very uncomfortable. Thus, when Lin Rei arrived, the earth corpse knew that the human corpse was right. Lin Rei was a very frightening opponent. "Yin Flame. I want to use heavenly treasures to exchange for your Yin Flame, is that possible?" Clean and direct. At this moment, Lin Li didn't have any intention of hiding anything. He directly stated the reason why he had come here. "What? Yin Flame, you?" At this moment, hearing Lin Rei's straightforward words, the earth corpse didn't expect him to come for his Yin Flame. Thinking of this, the earth corpse shifted his gaze to the human corpse sitting on the chair to the side. There weren't many people who knew about his Yin Flame in the ancient corpse trove. No, it should be said that there was no one who knew about the Yin Flame in the ancient corpse trove. Outside of his two brothers, no one else knew about it. Even his own capable subordinates didn't know. At this moment, the earth corpse couldn't help but suspect that it was his brother, the human corpse, who told Lin Rei about the Yin Flame. At this moment, the human corpse, who was sitting on the chair and feeling a bit disappointed because of the earlier matter, felt the earth corpse's suspicious gaze and an indescribable feeling rushed into his heart. He didn't know why, but he couldn't control himself and directly stood up and angrily shouted at the earth corpse. "Why are you looking at me like that? It wasn't me who said it. When Lin Rei came here, he already knew about the Yin Flame. Don't look at me like that, I don't like it." Seeing the human corpse's reaction, the earth corpse felt a trace of guilt in his heart. He didn't know why, but he actually suspected his own brother. At this moment, seeing their words, Lin Rei sneered and immediately walked in front of the human corpse. He gently patted his shoulder and said, "Enough, this matter has nothing to do with the human corpse. As for the Yin Flame, do you really think there is a wall in this world that doesn't have a crack?" What do you mean?" The earth corpse's face was filled with suspicion. Lin Rei's words were very clear, this matter wasn't only known by the three brothers. Hearing the earth corpse's voice, Lin Li turned around and looked at him. His eyes were filled with mockery. "A trace of it means that you three brothers are not the only ones who know about this. I am the exception. Do you think the Yin Flame is yours? Do you think you have the ability to refine it?" If my guess is correct, you haven't truly refined the Yin flame yet. You can only slightly activate the nether flame around the Yin flame, right? Lin Rei's words caused the Earth Corpse's expression to change greatly. At this moment, everyone saw the change in the Earth Corpse's expression and instantly knew that Lin Rei was right. The Earth Corpse really hadn't refined the Yin flame. It seems like I was right. Lin Rei really didn't expect the Earth Corpse to be this emotional. Moreover, his words just now were also because he wanted to see if the Earth Corpse had truly refined the Yin flame. It seems like his gamble paid off. With a gloomy expression, the Earth Corpse looked at Lin Rei and tried his best to calm down his agitated emotions. That's right. Even if I can only activate the nether flame around the Yin flame, so what? The Yin flame is mine. This is an indisputable fact. Refining the Yin flame is only a matter of time. Do you think our corpse race will care about this little bit of time? Moreover, after refining the Yin flame, I might be able to break through the shackles of the Reverend God realm and reach the Saint realm. Tell me, do you think I will give you such a heavenly treasure? At this moment, the Earth Corpse made it clear that Lin Rei wanted it, but the Earth Corpse wouldn't give it to him. Thus, Lin Rei's originally smiling face disappeared at this moment. The moment the Earth Corpse refused, his expression gradually became gloomy. He knew that if he took out something good to exchange, the Earth Corpse might never agree. However, there was also a possibility that even if he took out something good, the Earth Corpse wouldn't give it to him. Of course, there were both options, but Lin Rei didn't know which one the Earth Corpse would choose. Tell me, what do you want in exchange for me? Medicinal pills. Cultivation methods. Battle techniques. Magic techniques. Magic tools. Formations, etc. As long as you say it, I will give it to you. Moreover, you just said that you want to use the Yin flame to break through to the Saint realm. Ah. I just want to say that you are very stupid. The Yin flame is of the Yin attribute, and you yourself are of the Yin attribute. To become a saint, you need both Yin and Yang to be complete. Do you think you can only break through with Yin Qi? With that, Lin Rei didn't have any intention to refute the Earth Corpse. He then continued, if you want to break through to the Saint realm, I can help you replenish your Yang Qi and let your Yin and Yang Qi be complete. From there, you can break through to the Saint realm. Boom! Lin Rei's words were like thunder that exploded in the Earth Corpse's mind. Although he didn't know if the prerequisite to becoming a saint was like what Lin Rei said earlier, but looking at his determined appearance and expression, it didn't seem fake. At this moment, the Earth Corpse was caught in a dilemma. One was to use the Yin flame as a medium to break through to the Saint realm. However, this was only his imagination and speculation. The other was to believe in Lin Rei and believe that he could help him break through to the Saint realm. However, the prerequisite was that he had to give him the Yin flame. Originally, the Earth Corpse didn't doubt the first option and even wanted to speed up his cultivation. However, after hearing Jun Mo Xie's words, the Earth Corpse fell into silence and doubt. In the past, the Earth Corpse had firmly believed in the method he had imagined. But now, he was hesitating. Lin Rei looked at the hesitation on the Earth Corpse's face and smiled. He then returned to his seat and waited. Although he was pressed for time, if he could obtain the Yin flame, then this little bit of time could be wasted. Just like this, in the Earth Corpse's silence, time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, a day had passed. During this day, Lin Rei didn't idle. He sat on the chair and ate spirit fruits. He circulated the devouring heaven spell to devour the surrounding spirit qi and his Yin qi to increase his cultivation. As for the human corpse, seeing his second brother hesitating, he was extremely anxious. At this moment, he had complete faith in Lin Rei. However, as time passed, the Earth Corpse's thoughts formed one after another. Finally, he made up his mind and locked his gaze on the human corpse. Looking at his brother who had once fought side by side with him for millions of years, the Earth corpse's gaze finally became firm. He let out a long breath and then said to Lin Rei, "I promise you, I can give you the Yin flame. However, you must show me your sincerity. You must show me that you can help me break through my cultivation. Only then will I believe that you have the ability to help me achieve the Saint Realm." He. Lin Rei, who was resting with his eyes closed, heard the Earth corpse's voice. For a moment, Lin Rei smiled. Lin Rei still admired the Earth corpse. After all, it wasn't easy to find someone with such strength in the God realm. When the human corpse heard that his second brother believed in Lin Rei, he quickly stood up and looked at him. He smiled and said, "Second brother, you should have done this long ago. Look at me, I especially believe in Lin Rei. Therefore, believing in Lin Rei is the right thing to do." Lin Rei, looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of the pyramid schemes on his planet. The human corpse was very similar to pyramid schemes. "You." The Earth corpse smiled and looked at his third brother. He really didn't know what to say. Whoosh! Suddenly, as the human corpse and the Earth corpse were chatting, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. The Earth corpse stretched out his hand and grabbed something in his hand. He retracted his hand and opened it. A pill the size of a soybean appeared in his palm. Suddenly, a pill aroma assailed his nose and quickly spread throughout the entire palace. Hiss. The Earth corpse inhaled a mouthful of cold air with a shocked expression on his face. At this moment, looking at the pill in his hand, smelling its aroma and feeling it, the Earth corpse couldn't remain calm. Even the human corpse beside him couldn't remain calm at this moment. How could he not know that this pill was the reason why he became a mid-stage ultimate god? If the one holding the pill at this moment was his second brother, he would probably rush up and snatch it away. "This is for you. Eat this and I believe it will replenish your yang energy. Who knows, it might help you break through to the late-stage ultimate god." Sitting on the chair, Lin Rei looked at the shocked Earth corpse and said indifferently. However, although he didn't seem to care, his heart started to ache a little because this was his last 9-revolution mixed essence pill. This. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the Earth corpse looked up at Lin Rei and saw his indifferent expression. Suddenly, the Earth corpse was shocked. As a mid-stage ultimate god cultivator, he still had some insight. This thing was extraordinary. In his life, he had obtained all the pills and looked at them with a burning gaze. He couldn't wait to swallow them and break through to the next realm. However, he knew that now wasn't the time. Lin Rei had shown his sincerity, and he should show his sincerity too. The Yin fire was once the key to breaking through to the Saint Realm. Although he was a little reluctant, he was willing to give it up in front of the person who was the key to breaking through to the Saint Realm. Looking at Lin Rei, the Earth corpse let out a long sigh. His face showed a trace of reluctance as he gritted his teeth and said, "Come with me, I'll take you to find the Yin fire." Okay. Hearing the Earth corpse's words, Lin Rei smiled. He came here for the Yin fire and the Corpse King pill. Now that he had the Yin fire, the only thing left was the Corpse King pill. He got up and walked behind the Earth corpse, following him to a wall. Now, looking at the wall in front of him, Lin Rei was puzzled. He didn't understand what the Earth corpse meant. Crunch. In the next instant, as Linley was speaking, another crunching sound could be heard. Linley's gaze was fixed on the wall in front of him. He saw the wall retreating into the room at this moment, but the speed was a little slower. Boom! At this moment, a terrifying heat rushed out from the crack in the wall. However, what made Lin Rei feel strange was that within this heat wave, Lin Rei faintly felt a trace of coldness. Yin fire? This feeling, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of these two words in his mind. He couldn't help but say it out loud. Hearing Lin Rei's guess, the Earth Corpse's face showed a trace of a smile. However, he didn't turn around from beginning to end. Correct, it's the Yin fire. As the wall slowly retreated, the heat wave became more and more intense. After Jia Yang was born, he felt this heat wave. In the beginning, it was nothing. However, as time passed, the heat wave slowly increased. In the end, Jia Yang couldn't withstand it anymore. Plop. Jia Yang couldn't endure the heat wave from the Yin fire and finally fell on the chair. His face was full of pain, which made people worried. Chapter 786. Boom. In an instant, a blood-colored flame appeared and covered Lin Rei's body. The current Lin Rei was like a god of fire that had descended to the world. He was extremely sacred. Lin Rei felt the abnormality of Jia Yang and the others. Immediately after, with a wave of his hand, he controlled the illusory spirit blood fire to isolate Jia Yang and the others. He isolated all the perverts that were revealed by the Yin flame from the illusory spirit blood fire. With the appearance of this scene, the heat wave that Jia Yang and the others couldn't endure earlier completely disappeared. Of course, Jia Yang and the others knew about the illusory spirit blood fire. However, the Earth Corpse didn't know that Lin Rei actually had such a huge heavenly flame that was even stronger than the Yin flame. This is. Feeling the appearance of the illusory spirit blood fire, the Earth Corpse's face was shocked. His face was filled with disbelief. He never thought that Lin Rei would actually have such an ability. The instant the illusory spirit blood fire appeared, the Earth Corpse felt that the Yin flame had started to tremble and become extremely unstable. The Earth Corpse was shocked by this feeling. Others didn't know, but Lin Rei knew very well that this was the trembling, fear, panic and helplessness of a low-level heavenly flame when it saw a higher-level heavenly flame. Back then when Lin Rei received the illusory spirit blood fire, the little dragon had already said that the power of the illusory spirit blood fire was unparalleled. However, because Lin Rei's cultivation was low, he wasn't able to use the true danger of the illusory spirit blood fire. Although Lin Rei couldn't use the strongest power of the illusory spirit blood fire, the pressure of the illusory spirit blood fire's original realm was still present. Therefore, when these heavenly flames saw the illusory spirit blood fire, they couldn't help but want to escape out of fear. Regarding this, Lin Rei was already used to it. After all, such a scene had happened before. Lin Rei didn't have the slightest chance against the Earth Corpse's fear and disbelief. At this moment, the thing he wanted to see the most, other than the illusory spirit blood fire, there was nothing else. Kacha. The wall moved away bit by bit, and as the crack grew bigger and bigger, Lin Rei finally saw what was behind the wall. At this moment, behind the wall was a pitch-black cave. Inside the cave, there was nothing but an endless stream of heat waves. Lin Rei, who had been full of anticipation, saw this scene and his smiling face instantly turned gloomy. He turned his head and looked at the Earth Corpses beside him. His tone and attitude were cold. What's going on? Why is this place like this? Where's the Yin flame? Lin Rei could indeed feel the excitement and change of the illusory spirit blood fire when he felt the heat wave earlier. But now, when he opened it, there was nothing. Earth zombies. Seeing Linley's reaction, the Earth Corpse slapped his forehead and gave Linley a thumbs up with a look of admiration. TSK, I really have to hand it to you. I didn't say that this was the place to store the Yin fire. Moreover, do you think that these stones can control the Yin fire? Come to think of it, the Yin fire was the king of the Yin attribute. With such a strong stone, just one punch, no, not just one punch, but one pinky finger could crush it into pieces. Thinking of this, Lin Rei, who had been wearing a cold expression, calmed down a little. Then, he looked at the earth corpse, hoping that it would tell him what was going on. Looking at the earth corpse's gaze, the earth corpse sensed it and said slowly, "This is only the outermost area where the Yin fire is stored. The real place where the Yin fire is stored is at the end of the cave. The temperature there is much higher than here." "Oh, I see." After hearing the earth corpse's explanation, Lin Rei felt a little better. His face quickly warmed up and he smiled again. The earth corpse was stunned and did not say anything else. As for Lin Rei's temper, the earth corpse had more or less understood it. Glancing at Lin Rei, it said, "Okay, let's go." Then, it took the lead and walked towards the cave. Glancing at the earth corpse in front of him, Linley didn't give it much thought and immediately followed. As for Jiayang and the others, Lin Rei did not let them follow. After all, they could not resist the heat of the Yin fire. When he subdued the Yin fire, he would have to worry about their comfort. To him, they would be a burden. However, Fu Lei was different. Kacha. Kacha. Just like that, Lin Rei walked into the cave. In the instant that Linley stepped into the cave, the crack in the wall once more returned to its original position. The palace regained its tranquility. Jiayang and the others sat down in boredom. In the end, they had no choice but to enter meditation and wait for Lin Rei's return. In the cave, Lin Rei followed the earth corpse. The light became dimmer and dimmer. After walking for a while, it completely disappeared. Moreover, the temperature became hotter and hotter. But of course, to Linley, this temperature was nothing at all. As the earth corpse and Lin Rei went deeper, dark fire began to appear in front of Lin Rei and the earth corpse. Looking at the dark fire, Lin Rei opened his mouth. "This should be the dark fire that you used before." "That's right. This is the hellfire that I used. Also, I can only go up to this point, because if I go down any further, my body might not be able to take it, and in the end, collapse. What do you think?" Hearing Linley's question, the earth corpse replied. "Yes, indeed. To be able to come here is enough to prove the strength of your body." "That's right. Although the temperature of the dark fire is high, it will harm your meridians to a certain extent." After saying that, Lin Rei once again looked at the earth corpse and said solemnly, "So, don't take the pill that I gave you first. After I subdue the dark fire, I will help you refine a pill that can heal your meridians. It will allow you to quickly recover your damaged meridians. Then, when you take the 9 revolution mixed yuan pill, you will experience unexpected benefits. Trust me." "Really?" Although the earth corpse already believed Lin Rei, he still couldn't understand him. Seeing the disbelief in the earth corpse's eyes, Lin Rei helplessly shook his head. He then took a step forward and instantly arrived in front of the earth corpse. The illusory spirit blood fire instantly rushed out and wrapped around Lin Rei's sword finger. Whoosh! His speed was so fast that even the earth corpses didn't notice that Linley had already arrived in front of them. This action made the earth corpse even more certain that the pressure that he felt from Lin Rei was real. This Lin Rei was really stronger than him. However, the moment Lin Rei arrived in front of the earth corpse, the sword finger wrapped in the illusory spirit blood fire instantly touched one of the meridians on the earth corpse's chest. Zap! As if it had been electrocuted, the earth corpse trembled, and what followed was endless pain. This pain came from its own body, from the place where Linley had just touched. However, this pain wasn't caused by Lin Rei. It was because his meridians seemed to have been severely injured. At this moment, the earth corpse thought of Lin Rei's words and blamed himself. His previous actions proved that he was old. A dog biting a man who didn't know how to appreciate good intentions, and he was the dog. Clearly, the other party had good intentions, but was rejected by his vigilance and doubts. He blamed himself for the earth corpse. Looking at the Earth Corpse's painful expression, Lin Rei retreated back to his original position. He revealed a slight smile and said, "How is it? Now, your body will listen to my previous words? Of course, if it doesn't listen, it's fine. This way, I can save time. You should know that refining pills is very tiring. I don't want to waste time and not gain anything." With that, Lin Rei didn't say anything else and walked into the depths of the cave. However, what the Earth Corpse didn't know was that the moment Lin Rei left, he was secretly counting in his heart. 1, 3, 4. Lin Rei was sure that if he didn't count, the Earth Corpse would definitely call out to him. In the blink of an eye, 6 had already passed, but the Earth Corpse still didn't move. Regarding this, Lin Rei was a little surprised. 7, 8. Even when he counted to 8, the Earth Corpse still didn't make a sound. Lin Rei was surprised, but he didn't think much about it. Since the Earth Corpse didn't call out to him, it meant that he didn't need it. If that was the case, then he was willing. After all, the one who benefited the most was him, and it also saved time. 9. Finally, just when Lin Rei was about to count to 10, the voice that Lin Rei was waiting for appeared. "Lin Rei, I agree with your method just now. I'll wait for you to refine the pill for me." Hearing the Earth Corpse's words, Lin Rei was surprised. Then, he revealed a smile, turned around and said, "Okay, I agree to help you. However, the condition is that you have to follow me to where the Yin flame is stored. As long as you can keep up with me and withstand the endless heat waves, then I'll agree." Stunned. At this moment, the Earth Corpse was stunned. He was still a little afraid of entering the Yin flame's storage area. One must know that the perverts there were at least 100 times hotter than where they were now. If he really did follow in, then he could imagine the final result. His body would collapse and he would die. At this moment, the Earth Corpse hesitated. However, looking at the strange smile on Lin Rei's face, the Earth Corpse was full of doubts. He didn't understand why Lin Rei was doing this. He really wanted to know, but in the end, he gave up. "So, did you agree?" At this moment, Lin Li urged again. He really wanted to enter the depths of the cave as soon as possible. He really wanted to see the Yin flame. In response to Lin Rei's urging, the Earth Corpse was also very anxious. He couldn't understand Lin Rei's intention, so he was anxious. However, in the face of Lin Rei's urging, the Earth Corpse could only nod his head helplessly. However, the moment he agreed to Lin Rei's request, a voice from the depths of his heart rang out. "You're right, just like that." The Earth Corpse was speechless. However, before he could say anything, he had already agreed. "Okay." Seeing the Earth Corpse agree, Lin Rei waved his hand and said, "Come, I'll show you the power of the Yin flame. Then, you'll know whether I was lying or not." The Earth Corpse was stunned. His body involuntarily moved closer to Lin Rei. Despite the heat waves in front of him, the Earth Corpse was still stubborn. Using his strong body, he arrived in front of Lin Rei and stood still. "Very good." Lin Rei was very pleased with the Earth Corpse's behavior. Then, he waved his hand and a ball of illusory spirit blood fire appeared in an instant, rushing towards the Earth Corpse. Seeing the illusory spirit blood fire rushing towards him, the Earth Corpse's expression changed. He wanted to use his cultivation to retreat quickly. Unfortunately, when he reacted, the illusory spirit blood fire had already arrived above his head and formed a flame-like garment, wrapping the Earth Corpse in it. At this moment, the Earth Corpse who was wrapped in the illusory spirit blood fire was no longer as flustered as before. Instead, he was a little surprised. At this moment, the Earth Corpse couldn't feel the pain of being burned by the Yin flame. Instead, The heat emitted by the Yin flame was completely isolated by the illusory spirit blood fire that wrapped around him. Damn, this. Other than shock and disbelief, the Earth Corpse really didn't know how to describe his feelings at this moment. Alright, let's go. Time waits for no man. Linley didn't pay much attention to the Earth Corpse's astonishment. At this moment, the Earth Corpse's question was answered. In the next moment, Linley released the illusory spirit blood fire to envelop himself. Then, using his cultivation base, he disappeared from the spot. Wait. Wait for me. At this moment, seeing Lin Ray suddenly disappear, the Earth Corpse suddenly panicked. He was afraid that Lin Ray would leave and the illusory spirit blood fire around him would be extinguished. Then, he used his cultivation and chased after Lin Ray. At this moment, in the cave, only two figures could be seen. Just as they appeared, they would disappear again. This happened many times, but in the end, the two figures stopped in front of a stone door. It's here. Behind this door is where the Yin flame is. At this moment, the Earth Corpse spoke. However, he was very excited because this was the second time he came here. The first time he came here, this place wasn't as hot as this. Okay. Got it. Looking at the excited Earth Corpse, Lin Ray nodded his head. Then, he fixed his gaze on the door in front of him. Looking at the door, it was filled with some skeletons and ghost faces, as well as some messy words that he couldn't understand. Damn, what the hell is this? Looking at the obstacle in front of him, Lin Ray felt a headache coming on. Boy, this door is not simple. Suddenly, just as Lin Ray was having a headache, the system's voice appeared. At this moment, Lin Ray seemed to have heard his savior. His originally worried face revealed a smile. What's going on? Hurry up and tell me. Lin Ray urged. TSK, this door should be an innate spiritual treasure. However, it's a low-grade spiritual treasure. It's not as high-grade as the string of beads in your hand, but it's still okay. Overall, it's an item born from heaven and earth. The system said, but there was a trace of regret in its voice. What? This is an innate spiritual treasure? Although the system said it casually, in front of Lin Ray, it was like an atomic bomb. It was a shocking thing. There weren't many items born from heaven and earth. Now, in one place, there were two of them. So, Lin Ray began to feel that the ancient corpse trove wasn't as simple as it seemed on the surface. Chapter 787. Tisk, why do you care? As for Linley's inner thoughts, the system could naturally hear them if it wanted to. Therefore, the system naturally answered Linley's thoughts. Looking at the stunned Lin Ray, the system sighed softly and continued, what you should be thinking of now is to enter this place and collect the Yin flame. From there, the illusory spirit blood fire will undergo a qualitative change. Only then can your illusory spirit blood fire be upgraded to a higher level of flame. Do you want to move? Lin Ray was speechless at the system's words. He wanted to subdue the Yin flame, but Lin Ray was at his wit's end when it came to this innate spiritual treasure in front of him. If it was a divine artifact, then the system wouldn't even need to intervene. Linley himself would be able to blast it away or subdue it. But, this was a protocosmic spirit treasure, a product of nature. Linley knew that he wouldn't be able to do such a thing. This innate spiritual treasure in front of me, I can't open it. Why don't you? Lin Ray said to the system as he looked at the obstacle in front of him. Of course, because he was asking for help, it was inevitable that he would sound like he was begging for help. If you, who had been bullied by Linley in the past, were to see this side of Linley, you would probably be stupefied, and would wonder if the world had changed. Because in your memories, Linley was a devil through and through, a god of slaughter. Those who had offended him swore that they would never want to see Lin Ray again. If Lin Ray appeared again, it would be an indelible disaster. He would be their nightmare. Sigh. In front of the system, Lin Ray was like a child. Seeing Lin Ray like this, the system sighed and nodded in agreement. All right. However, when I make my move later, you must infuse your blood essence into the door and use it to control it. That way, you can enter the door and take it for your own use. That way, what do you think? Now, Linley was overjoyed. Who wouldn't want to have another protocosmic spirit treasure? Only, blood essence was a bit of a problem. If he used blood essence, his body might feel a bit unaccustomed to it. Of course, blood essence was not a problem when it came to obtaining an innate spiritual treasure. Without hesitation, Lin Ray nodded in agreement. All right, don't worry. As long as you do it, there will be blood essence anytime. After saying this, Linley did not hesitate in the slightest and directly forced out a drop of blood essence from his body. Whoosh! A dazzling light suddenly appeared above the blood essence that Linley had forced out, emitting light. After a few breaths of time, the light automatically disappeared and the original appearance of the blood essence was revealed in front of Lin Ray. At this moment, a drop of blood essence was floating in the air, as if it had a spirit by Lin Ray's side. Hiss. However, at this time, the earth corpses saw the blood floating in the air. For a moment, their eyes were startled and their faces were full of shock. This was because, at this moment, the blood floating in the air was like a ruby. It shined brightly and within this ruby, there were traces of golden threads. This scene shocked the earth corpses to the side because the blood in a person's body could not be like this. However, Linley could see it very clearly, and very clearly at that. Within the blood, there was not only red and gold, but also a hint of purple light in the depths of that drop of blood. It was just that the brightness of that drop of blood could not be ignored. Ah! Looking at this drop of blood essence, Lin Ray's face revealed a trace of a smile and a trace of heartache. This was his blood essence, the foundation of Hongmeng's supreme physique. Originally, the little dragon said that it would not let him casually get hurt. TSK, but, as expected of the world's most tyrannical and strongest physique. I did not expect that just a drop of undeveloped blood would have such powerful strength. At this time, the system opened its mouth and its words were full of praise. Hearing the system's words, Lin Ray's face was full of pride because the system was praising his blood. It was something that he used his strength to condense. Okay, let's hurry up and start. There is not much time left. Although Lin Ray was a bit arrogant, he still knew the severity of the situation. This was not the time to be complacent. Sigh, you brat. Seeing Lin Ray so anxious, the system sighed and then nodded. Okay, since you want to start too early, then let's start. The moment it finished speaking, a wave of energy suddenly appeared and merged into Lin Ray's body. This energy was so huge that even Lin Ray was shocked. This. You. Feeling the huge energy that suddenly appeared in his body, Lin Ray knew without thinking that other than the system, he could not think of anyone else. And the system seemed to know what Lin Ray wanted to ask. Without waiting for Lin Ray to finish speaking, it immediately explained and interrupted him. Okay, didn't you want me to do it? I am an illusory body and I can't let the corpses beside me notice anything wrong, so I can only act according to your body. Of course, if you don't want to, I can let go. However, I don't know if this door. TSK. At this moment, the system could be said to be a naked threat. You. Lin Ray did not know what to do with the system at this moment. In the past, the system was still cold, but now the system was so shameless. Of course, Lin Ray was already used to this kind of system. He did not want the system to become like it was before. Okay, stop bullshitting. Hurry up and get ready. Lin Ray warned. Then, under Lin Ray's perception, a terrifying wave of energy instantly passed through his palms and rushed towards the innate spiritual treasure in front of him. Bang! A loud sound, like that of stone and metal, was very dull. This. On the side, the corpses felt the terror of Lin Ray's palm. They were directly nailed to the ground as if they were immobilized. They stared at Lin Ray with eyes full of shock. How much power does it take to shake this door? At this moment, the corpses slowly spoke. He knew about this stone door in front of him because it was still open at that time. It was also because of that he was able to see the Yin flame in the stone door. Later on, for some unknown reason, the stone door closed. He wanted to go in but did not have the ability. Back then, in order to enter the sect, the corpses did not hesitate to ask the corpses of the sky, who was now the head of the ancient corpse trove. However, in the end, they still could not do anything. But now, with a single palm strike from Linley, the stone door began to sway. And it didn't seem to be as simple as just swaying. Break, for me. Lin Ray did not know and did not want to know about the corpse's thoughts and shock. At this moment, his only thought was to open the stone door and let the innate spiritual treasure in front of him recognize him as its master. At this moment, the system controlling Linley's body sensed the obscure aura of his master. Instantly, it frowned. Then, it relaxed and a mysterious smile appeared on the corner of its mouth. Humph, even the sages could not do anything to me. Do you think you can withstand my palm strength? At this moment, the system seemed to know something when it felt the obscure aura in the stone door. Heaven and earth change, first change, firmament palm, break for me. Suddenly, the stone door seemed to have stirred up the system's competitive spirit. Suddenly, the system gave in and finally used its battle technique. Another terrifying energy appeared, and finally, with its peak strength, it slammed into the stone door. After a loud dong sound, a kacha sound was heard. The stone door, which was originally cracked and sewn, started to crack under the force of this palm. Quick, now is the time. Inject the blood essence into the crack. If you are late, I can't do anything. Suddenly, the system's voice sounded. At this moment, the system returned Lin Ray's body to Lin Ray. Okay. Hearing the system's words, Lin Ray was shocked. He was already prepared. The moment he felt the control of his body return to him, Lin Ray moved. He controlled his blood essence and aimed it at the crack on the stone door. Then, he poured his blood essence into it. Boom, whoosh, the moment the blood essence merged with the stone door, a red light rushed out and lit up the entire space. He laughed. In this moment, as he sensed the magnificence of that red light, Linley laughed, because in the instant that the red light had appeared, an enormous amount of information had appeared in his mind. Underworld Craftsman, the innate spiritual treasure of the prehistoric netherworld. It has the ability to suppress evil and is extremely dangerous. It is a lower-grade innate spiritual treasure. Underworld Craftsman? After roughly looking through the memories in his mind, Lin Ray was momentarily stunned. The name Underworld Craftsman made Lin Ray feel a little careless. However, looking at its abilities, Lin Ray was quite fond of it. After all, it was a lower-grade innate spiritual treasure, but it had the ability to suppress all evil and yin energy. Along with this information, there were also spells on how to put it into one's body. This made Lin Ray happy. If this was the case, then he would be able to see the yin flame soon. Thinking about this, Lin Ray became excited. He turned around and said to the earth corpse, "Be careful later. I will put away the stone door. There might be a large amount of heat rushing out, and there might even be yin flames rushing out. So, be prepared to defend yourself at any time. What? Put away the stone door. This time, the Earth Corpse was shocked. Ever since he had met Linley, he had always been able to bring him quite a bit of shock and awe. After so many shocks, the Earth Corpse had originally thought that he had become numb to it. Who would have thought that when he encountered something like this, the Earth Corpse would still be shocked? Alright, don't just stand there. I'm going to start. At this moment, Lin Rei spoke without waiting for the Earth Corpse to come back to his senses. He began to recite the spell to put away the underworld craftsman. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Suddenly, the underworld craftsman began to sway, and the cave trembled. Originally, the underworld craftsman would be put back into the body by reciting the spell, but now it only shook a few times. Lin Rei knew that this was very likely because he had just become master and servant with the underworld craftsman, but he had only just made a preliminary connection with the underworld craftsman. Knowing the reason, Lin Rei was not discouraged. As the saying goes, the first drum builds up the spirit, the second weakens the spirit, and the third exhausts the spirit. Next, Lin Rei, who had enough patience, began to recite the spell over and over again. Immediately after, the shaking became more and more intense. Following that, the underworld craftsman began to leave its original place bit by bit. It even began to shrink a little as it rushed towards Lin Rei. Just like that, time passed little by little as Lin Rei recited the spell. Whoosh! Lin Rei did not know how much time had passed, but he was sure that it was a very long time. However, in the end, it did not disappoint Lin Rei. The underworld craftsman instantly shrank and rushed into his body. Finally, it appeared in his spiritual abode and hung there. Hiss! He really put it away. At this moment, this was the only thought the Earth Corpse had. Rumble! Suddenly, a terrifying heat wave rushed towards Lin Rei the moment the underworld craftsman was put away. This was the first time Lin Rei had seen such an energy technique in his life. Bang! A muffled sound entered Lin Rei's ears. He turned around and saw that the Earth Corpse, who was originally standing there, had disappeared without a trace. Lin Rei was stunned by this scene. He looked behind him and saw that the Earth Corpse had been pushed back by the terrifying energy. It did not seem to have any intention of stopping and was still continuing. Sigh. I wanted you to go in and take a look, but it seems that you can't do it now. There was no other way. Lin Rei could do nothing about the Earth Corpse that had been pushed back by the energy. He had already helped him to this point. Lin Rei might have to go back and bring him back again. He sighed helplessly. Then, his expression became serious. He turned around and looked at the opened hole again. At this moment, a sinister, yet scorching, energy was constantly surging out of the cave. Linley had no choice but to be cautious. Although he felt that he was very powerful, it was inevitable that something unexpected would happen. Linley didn't dare to guarantee that he would be safe. Let's go in and collect urine fire. I believe that after coming out of here, your cultivation will undergo a qualitative change again, the system said. I hope so. Responding to the system, he did not hesitate. He made up his mind and walked into the hole. 1 step. 2 steps. 3 steps. 1 step at a time. The sound of each footstep was like the sound of Linley's heart, echoing within the cave. Phew! Finally, a living creature has come in again. Come, let me devour you. Come. Come quickly. A cold and strange voice suddenly appeared. For a moment, Lin Rei, who was walking forward, stopped in his tracks. This is... Lin Rei hesitated for a moment when he heard this voice. He did not expect there to be a human voice in here. TSK, what human? It's just that the Yin fire has developed intelligence after millions of years. Also, is this very strange? The system's words were obviously the truth. It was strange because it had not seen anything. Lin Rei could only end this awkward ending for Lin Rei in a speechless manner. Chapter 788. Ignoring the system and not replying to the Yin flame, Linley looked ahead with a deep gaze before walking into the depths of the mountain. To him, nothing could stop his desire to break through. Only then would he be able to reach the Holy Realm faster. That way, he would be able to complete the 1,000-year mission without being punished by the system. Lin Rei was very worried about this. Although he was very familiar with the system, Lin Rei still believed that the system would punish the system. Lin Rei had never doubted this. Dong, dong dong, step by step, the sound of Yin Flame's footsteps entered Lin Rei's ears. It was as if his heart was beating too fast, causing the atmosphere to become even more tense. Perhaps it was because the cave was big, but Lin Rei's footsteps were very soft and soft. But in the end, they were very loud and echoed in the cave. He, human, I didn't expect you to be so bold. Looks like I'll be able to eat my fill this time. At this moment, sensing Linley's fearlessness, and even his killing intent, the Yin flame once again spoke out. At this moment, Lin Rei could clearly tell that the Yin flame's tone had changed. It was as if victory was in its grasp, but now it was furious. It was as if it was about to explode and devour Lin Rei. Lin Rei didn't have any impression of the Yin flame's words. At this moment, the Chaos Dragon Spear appeared in Lin Rei's hand. He didn't know the Yin flame's strength, but he didn't know if it would be a fierce battle. As for the Primal Chaos Dragon Spear, Linley had wanted to find someone to test it out on. Now, it was so close to him, and the Yin flames felt so good. Naturally, Linley was overjoyed. How do you have a natural spiritual treasure? In the depths of the cave, a huge ball of flame emitting a faint blue light floated in the air. The voice just now was emitted from this ball of flame. When Inhua sensed the long spear in Linley's hands, his heart suddenly clenched. A sense of foreboding filled his heart, and he knew very well that Linley's spear was a middle-grade protocosmic spirit treasure. Towards this, a hint of terror appeared in his heart. As the saying went, the first to show fear in a battle was destined to lose. Not bad, you have a good eye. What do you think? My Chaos Dragon Spear is not bad, right? I'll let you experience its power later. Hearing the system's words, Linley could not help but reveal a smug smile. He was very clear about the system's level. Connate spiritual treasures were also known as sacred artifacts. Previously, he already knew that his spear had broken through to the mid-level Connate spiritual treasure level. Yin Flame was speechless. He didn't know what to say. He knew that the fear he felt from the Chaos Dragon Spear was something that could restrain him. Let's go play with the Yin Flame first. Ignoring the Yin Flame, he held the Chaos Dragon Spear tightly. With a shake of his hand, he smiled and activated his cultivation. Roar! Suddenly, dragon roars came out from the Chaos Dragon Spear. The roars were so loud that they formed sound waves. The sound waves were so powerful that even Lin Rei was shocked when he felt the power of the sound waves. This was the first time the Chaos Dragon Spear had summoned 9 Azure Dragons after its breakthrough. The previous Azure Dragons weren't as powerful. Feeling the excitement of the Azure Dragons, Lin Rei smiled. With a shake of his hand, the 9 Azure Dragons rushed out into the depths of the cave. Whoosh, whoosh whoosh, the sound of the Azure Dragons breaking through the air came from the cave. At this moment, the scene of 9 Azure Dragons moving out together was very spectacular. Phew! I didn't expect. I really didn't expect that the Chaos Dragon Spear's breakthrough would lead to the 9 Azure Dragons' breakthrough. Their cultivation should be at the Saint Realm now, right? Lin Rei couldn't help but exclaim as he watched the Azure Dragons leave. TCH, Saint? They're not just saints. At this moment, the system heard Lin Rei's muttering and couldn't help but say, the Chaos Dragon Spear has broken through to a middle-grade innate spiritual treasure. In that case, the 9 Azure Dragons' cultivation should have reached the late-stage Dao Fruit Saint realm. Hiss. Dao Fruit. Late-stage Dao Fruit Saint realm? Lin Rei was shocked when he heard the system's assessment of the Azure Dragon's strength. A perfected ultimate god could break through to the Saint realm and become a Dao Fruit Saint right after breaking through. Originally, Lin Rei thought that the Azure Dragons were at most early-stage Dao Fruit Saints. He didn't expect them to break through to the late-stage Dao Fruit Saint realm. This shocked Lin Rei. However, along with the shock, there was also surprise, joy, happiness, and excitement. Because of the 9 late-stage Dao Fruit Saints, his strength would increase by another level. However, Lin Rei was excited and happy. Yin Flame, on the other hand, was in trouble. After all, Yin Flame's spiritual intelligence was only at the perfected late-stage Ultimate God realm while the Azure Dragons were all at the late-stage Dao Fruit realm. The difference between the two was enormous. Not even Linley could be certain that someone at the level of Yin Flame could laugh at late-stage Dao Fruit Saints. Bastard! Bastard, deep in the cave, seeing the 9 beams of light arrive in an instant, his originally panicked heart was once again sure that Lin Rei's Chaos Dragon Spear was so powerful that even he was no match for it. Awoo! Awoo! Although the 9 Azure Dragons were only left with their dragon souls, their majesty was still there. How could they not be angry when they heard a small flame that had given birth to spiritual intelligence curse? One of the Azure Dragons couldn't help but fly faster. In an instant, the strength of a saint could distort space. Therefore, the Azure Dragon's figure flashed and disappeared on the spot. When it reappeared, it was already in front of Yin Flame. Yin Flame didn't have time to react. At this moment, the Azure Dragon rushed in front of Yin Flame and swung its tail like a long whip, fiercely hitting Yin Flame. Boom, a loud sound was heard. The Yin Flame that was hit by the Azure Dragon was directly scattered by the Azure Dragon and scattered in all directions. Bastard, die. Die. At this moment, Yin Flame came back to its senses and found that it had been smashed by the Azure Dragon. Immediately, a surge of anger surged in its heart. Suddenly, a huge heatwave appeared. The Yin Flame that had been smashed and scattered in all directions miraculously merged the moment the heatwave appeared and finally returned to its original body. Bastard, I am angry now. Although you are a saint, you are still just a dragon soul in the end. I am the bane of Yin souls, so, die. At this moment, the Yin Flame was enraged. A ball of Yin Flame rushed out of Yin Flame's body at an extremely fast speed, almost imperceptible to the naked eye, and arrived in front of the Azure Dragon. Awoo, looking at the Yin Flame, the Azure Dragon's face showed a trace of disdain. It didn't care about the Yin Flame at all. It didn't dodge and just let the Yin Flame hit its body. What? At this moment, the Yin Flame appeared on the Azure Dragon's body and started to burn. Yin Flame smiled at this, but as the fire burned more and more fiercely, the dragon's soul didn't cry out in pain. This was completely different from what he had expected. In his expectation, as long as the Azure Dragon touched the Yin Flame would burn its dragon soul to ashes. But now, not only was the dragon's soul not destroyed, it was even more spirited. The Yin Flame that was attached to the dragon's soul was slowly being absorbed by the dragon soul. This scene shocked Yin Flame and Lin Rei, who had already arrived. However, when he felt the azure dragon slowly becoming stronger after absorbing the Yin flame, Lin Rei was relieved. After all, his improvement was his own improvement. Looking at the azure dragon, Lin Rei said, "All right, leave this to me. You guys guard the surroundings. If the Yin flame dares to escape, kill it without mercy." Awoo! At this moment, the 9 azure dragons roared at the sky in unison, as if responding to Lin Rei's words. "Heh!" Lin Rei smiled at the azure dragon's reaction. He then stepped forward and came under the Yin flame. Looking up at the Yin flame in the sky, Lin Rei's face showed a trace of mockery. "Yin flame, I will give you a chance. Become a part of my strength. When I reach the strongest level of Tao, I will return your freedom. At that time, you will become stronger and respected by the world. You might even become the King of Fire. What do you think?" Yin flame. When Yin Hua heard the young man's words, he suddenly felt that it was funny. Since when did he need someone to persuade him? Moreover, he wanted him to become a part of the other party's strength. Wasn't this clearly asking him to wait to be devoured? As an expert born from the world, this was a great humiliation. Thus, Yin Flame didn't even think about it before rejecting Lin Li's suggestion. "Humph, kid, why don't you ask around? I am one of the strongest godly flames in the world. What gives you the right to do that? You." Boom. Suddenly, without waiting for Yin Flame to finish speaking, a blood-red flame appeared and covered Lin Li's entire body. Lin Rei was like a god of war, sacred and inviolable. He was like a god that made people revere him. At this moment, the appearance of the illusory spirit blood fire caused the Yin flame to retreat violently. If the chaotic dragon spear had brought him fear, then the illusory spirit blood fire had brought him the aura of death. In front of the illusory spirit blood fire, the Yin flame felt like a little doll, while the illusory spirit blood fire was like a giant pillar supporting the sky. When he looked up, he could only see its dust. Yin flame was scared. He didn't know what to do. He was surrounded by 9 azure dragons. It was impossible for him to escape. But in front of him was an emperor. At this moment, Yin Hua was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He didn't know what he should do to avoid this calamity. Humph. Seeing the Yin flame panic, Lin Li laughed coldly in his heart and muttered, "If I let you submit to me, perhaps when I become the most powerful Taoist, I could let you leave. But now, not only will I refine you, I will also use the illusory spirit blood fire to devour you. You will become a part of the illusory spirit blood fire." Thinking of this, Lin Li glanced at Yin Flame. Since Yin Flame had already rejected him, Lin Li naturally wouldn't ask to be abused. Of course, Lin Li knew that Yin Flame wasn't in the mood for that. Devouring Heaven spell, illusory spirit blood fire, devour. Lin Rei didn't waste any time. He didn't waste any more time. The devouring heaven spell and illusory spirit blood fire were activated. A vortex formed by the illusory spirit blood fire appeared. Suddenly, a terrifying suction force appeared in the vortex. The suction force was so strong that even the cave felt like it was going to collapse. No. No. Don't. Yin Hua could feel the strong suction force, because his body was slowly being pulled into the blood-red vortex uncontrollably. A hoarse roar came from the Yin Flame's mouth as it struggled to break free. Its voice was filled with stubbornness as it wanted to resist fate. However, the level of the devouring heaven spell was too high. One could imagine how strong the suction force was. Even Lin Rei was afraid of the suction force of the devouring heaven spell. Therefore, it was even more impossible for Yin Flame to break free and escape. No. No. Young man, I promise you. I promise to become a part of your strength. I promise. I promise you. I beg. I beg you, don't. No matter how sincere Yin Flame's pleading was, it was too late. Lin Rei had already made the final decision to refine Yin Flame. Furthermore, Lin Rei was planning to refine Yin Flame anyway. Thus, Lin Li didn't pay any attention to the Yin Flame's pleading, much less listen to it. Just like that, the Yin Flame was slowly sucked into the blood-red vortex by the strong suction force, and finally disappeared without a trace. After the Yin Flame was swallowed by Lin Li, the terrifying heat in the entire cave began to disappear in an instant. Boom, however, even though he had swallowed the Yin Flame was extremely powerful. The moment it was swallowed into his body, it exploded at full speed. A terrifying surge of heat began to spread throughout Lin Li's body, burning him from the inside out. The pain was tearing him apart. Suddenly, Lin Rei's face turned pale because of the pain. He didn't care about anything else and rolled on the ground. At that moment, Lin Rei's image as a venerable realm expert and the former lord of the Xuanzong sect was thrown to the back of his mind. Ah, Lin Li let out a hoarse, pained roar. His face had turned extremely pale, causing anyone who saw it to be terrified. Sigh. Hang in there. As long as you hang in there, you will be able to break through to the middle ultimate god realm. It will be good for you. After all, you don't have much time left. At that moment, after Lin Rei fell into pain, the system sighed. If Lin Rei heard the system, he would be very confused. Because the system said that he didn't have much time left. It didn't mean that he didn't complete the task. As for what it meant, he didn't know. Sigh. After sighing, the system fell completely silent and did not speak again. Chapter 789. Time flowed by. It was like a white steed flashing past a crack. It was undetectable and untraceable. Naturally, it had been 2 years since Lin Rei entered the black hole. There was no news from him nor was there any information from him. Jia Yang, Pai Xiao and the others who were quietly waiting in the Earth Corpse Palace were worried. Within the Earth Corpse Palace, the Earth Corpses, human corpses, Jia Yang, Pai Xiao, Ba Bao and the jade-faced Rakshasa that Lin Li had saved earlier had been in a state of cultivation and comprehension ever since Lin Li had entered the cave. On the way, when everyone was cultivating, the Earth Corpse walked out of the cave in a sorry state. His face was filled with helplessness and depression. The clothes on his body were tattered and torn. Even the beggars on the street were a lot better than him. Everyone was curious about why the Earth Corpse had come out, but the one who was even more curious was Lin Li. Because Lin Li had gone in with him, and when they came out, only the Earth Corpse was left. Moreover, his attire was so strange. This caused everyone to be puzzled, but also filled with worry. Although Lin Rei's cultivation was incomparable to everyone, there were too many strong existences in this world. They did not dare to guarantee that Lin Rei would be safe and sound. The Earth Corpse naturally knew about everyone's suspicions. Then, without waiting for Jia Yang and the others to ask, the Earth Corpse took the lead and spoke about everything that happened in the cave. He did not hide anything. He did not even hide the matter of him being blown away by the heat wave. After the Earth Corpse spoke about everything that happened in the cave, everyone became silent. After all, they did not participate in this matter. In the end, Jia Yang and the others chose to remain silent. After that, everyone once again entered into their cultivation. This wait lasted for 2 years. This was something that Jia Yang and the others did not expect. Sigh. In the palace, Jia Yang retrieved his martial technique. His eyes moved and opened. A light instantly rushed out from his eyes. After the light passed, his expression became arrogant. Lin Rei, why haven't you come out yet? The corrosion of the heat wave has long disappeared from the cave. why haven't you come out yet? Do you know that everyone is worried about you? Jiayang sighed. He twisted his body and looked around. When he saw that everyone was still cultivating, his heart was filled with depression. Although he hadn't been with Lin Rei for a long time, ever since he had agreed to join the Xuanzong sect, Lin Rei had unknowingly become a pillar in his heart, the backbone of his heart. And now, Lin Rei was not present. In fact, it could even be said that there was no news of him. This caused Jiayang to not worry at all. Even after Lin Rei had disappeared for a year, Jiayang wanted to enter the cave alone to investigate. However, this idea was seen through by the Pai Xiu who was at the side. In the end, the Pai Xiu opened its mouth and stopped Jiayang's idea. Before it could even be implemented, it was strangled in the cradle. However, now, after 2 years, seeing that Lin Rei still hadn't appeared, this thought once again appeared in Jiayang's heart. He looked at the pitch-black cave before him. In the past, there were still heat waves coming out from it. However, ever since it suddenly disappeared 2 years ago, there was no longer any heat. It even became like the outside world, extremely gloomy and cold. Seeing that the surrounding people were still cultivating and did not show any signs of waking up, Jiayang was unable to endure it anymore. He didn't want to continue waiting like this. He wanted to enter the cave to find Lin Rei's whereabouts. Although Jiayang was worried, when he thought of Lin Rei, the fear that originally existed in his heart was completely thrown to the back of his mind. When he thought of doing it, he immediately did it. After taking a final glance at everyone and confirming that there were no signs of them waking up, Jiayang stood up and tiptoed like a thief. He did not dare to make the slightest bit of noise. It was as if he was afraid that if he made any big movements, he would wake everyone up. When he arrived at the entrance of the cave, his heart was firm. Then, he stepped into the cave. At that moment, Jiayang was determined to find Lin Rei. He had even prepared for the worst. Even if he were to die, he would not hesitate. Just like that, Jiayang's silhouette disappeared from the mountain cave. However, what Jiayang didn't know was that the instant he stepped into the mountain cave, the Pai Xiu who was cultivating with its eyes tightly closed suddenly opened. Within its pair of blurred eyes, there was a trace of a smile. Within that smile, there was even more of admiration and admiration. Tisk, in the end, he still chose to enter. It seems that I have not misjudged him. Such a person should be very suitable to inherit my body cultivation technique. The Pai Xiu muttered in its heart. Although it is not as exceptional as Lin Rei's body cultivation technique, it is at least one of the best in the world. Even the Azure Lotus Saint did not hesitate to use the Azure Lotus sword cannon to exchange with me. After saying that, the Pai Xiu looked at the cave and lightly laughed. Then, its gaze became firm. In that case, I will wait for you to come out. I hope that you will not disappoint me. After saying that, the Pai Xiu once again entered the cave to cultivate. However, the smile on its face did not disappear for a long time. As for Jiayang who had entered the cave, he simply did not know that unknowingly, because of a certain decision, he had obtained an opportunity that others would not be able to obtain in their lifetime. It was even because of this opportunity that he was sent to the peak of the Tao. Thump thump. Thump thump. Thump thump, in a pitch-black cave, a naked youth was sitting cross-legged on the ground without anything covering his body. Both of his hands were facing upwards. It was as if he was in a state of cultivation. On his face, sweat was unceasingly overflowing. However, the corners of his mouth were slightly raised. It was as if he had thought of something happy at that moment. Within the cave, the sound of a strong heartbeat could be heard. It was as if something was hitting the wall. The sound was so loud that it made one's hair stand up. Bang, along with the sound of a heartbeat, a muffled sound could be heard from the youth's body. One could clearly see that when the muffled sound appeared, the youth's body instantly swelled up. It was as if he was a balloon that was filled with air. Then, it immediately deflated. Boom! Suddenly, a terrifying pressure was emitted from the young man's body. The surrounding stone walls instantly exploded when the enormous pressure appeared. Huff! A long exhalation sound could be heard from the youth's mouth. His originally closed eyes squirmed at this moment and finally opened completely. Asterisk swoosh, asterisk a golden light instantly rushed out from his eyes and shot towards a dodging wall not far away. Bang! Thump! Following that, a muffled sound could be heard. The wall that was hit by the golden light had 2 fist-sized holes in an instant. The depth of the holes was terrifying. Just 2 golden lights were able to cause such a powerful bombardment. If it were to hit a person's body, wouldn't it be able to kill the person directly? I finally made a breakthrough. The golden light disappeared. His eyes were filled with joy as he said to Nan and I. Yes, you made a breakthrough. It's not bad. After devouring the Yin flame, you've made a breakthrough from the early stage hierarch realm to the mid-stage hierarch realm in 2 years. This kind of cultivation speed, I believe that in the divine realm. No, even in the holy realm, no one can be compared to you. At this moment, an electronically synthesized voice could be heard. Although the voice was a little stiff, it was filled with concern and admiration. System. At this moment, when he heard the sudden praise, his face couldn't help but blush as he muttered, "So you also know how to praise people." I thought, what did you think? At this moment, the system spoke again. As for the young man who had spoken earlier, he was none other than Linley, who had entered the cave to search for Jiayang. You still think that I'm praising you? Suddenly, the original praise turned cold. You're not. You're not. No, of course not. Suddenly, the system's tone changed. Lin Rei was stunned and then he was stunned. He didn't understand what the system meant. He was clearly fine just now, but now he seemed to have changed into a different person. Although you've broken through to the mid-divine Lord realm in a very short period of time, you must remember that you are not qualified to be proud of yourself, nor are you qualified to enjoy the feeling of accomplishment from breaking through to the mid-divine Lord realm. At this moment, before Lin Rei could refute, the system immediately reprimanded him. You simply don't have enough time right now. Furthermore, you are not allowed to enjoy the feeling of accomplishment from being praised by others. That's because you're still not strong enough. You're still not strong enough to make others fear you, revere you, and call you a god in their hearts. There's no other reason other than the fact that you're too weak. That's why everyone looks down on you. The system stopped speaking. As for Lin Rei, who was listening to the system's reprimand, he sank into a deathly silence. He didn't shut his mouth. He didn't refute the system's reprimand. Instead, he began to ponder. The reason had nothing to do with him. Lin Rei knew that the system was right. He was still too weak. If it wasn't for the Yin flame, he would have needed 200 to 300 years to break through to the mid-divine Lord realm. An ordinary cultivator would need at least a few hundred years to break through to the ultimate divine Lord realm. For someone like Lin Rei, who had more than 20 times the energy stored in his body, it would be even more difficult for him to break through. If the system and the little dragon were to help him, the time needed to break through would have been even longer. Therefore, at this moment, Lin Rei clearly knew that he didn't have much time left. It wasn't just because of the 200-year mission, but also because of the 1,000-year mission. Now, a few hundred years had passed. If he wanted to break through to the Saint realm, it wouldn't be done overnight. The space became silent. The quiet space caused Chen Dan to enter a state of contemplation. Time passed slowly in the silent space. Lin Rei didn't know how much time had passed. The originally silent system spoke again. This time, the system didn't reprimand him. Instead, its voice was gentle and full of concern. "All right, now that you've broken through your cultivation and successfully merged with the illusory spirit blood fire, the illusory spirit blood fire has reached an unprecedented height because of the fusion of the two." Looking at Lin Rei, the system continued, "Now, with your combat power, I believe that a beginner saint won't be able to defeat you as long as they don't use their origin source and the power of law." A saint? Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment. Then, he sighed. Lin Rei was very eager to break through to the saint realm. After all, the 1,000-year mission was right in front of him. If he didn't break through as soon as possible, the consequences would be very serious. Lin Rei doubted that he could bear the consequences because if he didn't complete the mission, his life would come to an end a few hundred years later. This was something he didn't allow and didn't want to see. He didn't expect his life to come to an end because of this. If that was the case, Linley hoped that he had been killed by the enemy. At the very least, that would give him some dignity. Although you have such strength, you must remember not to be arrogant. Don't be careless because of this small breakthrough. The system reminded. I know, don't worry. Don't you know? When did I, Lin Rei, disappoint you and the little dragon because of my current strength? At this moment, Lin Rei's face showed a trace of pride. The system was speechless after hearing Lin Rei's words. It wasn't that the system didn't want to refute, but because what Lin Rei said was true. That's good. You should go out. It's been more than 2 years. I think the people outside are starting to worry about you. Moreover, you should hurry to the 3rd level of the ancient corpse trove. After all, I know. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei didn't wait for the system to finish speaking and interrupted. After all, you don't have much time now, so hurry up. I won't die from a small poison like you. System. Hearing the system's speechlessness, Lin Rei smiled for a moment, as if he had won a round because of what happened just now. Let's go. He ignored the system, and the system didn't say anything. Just like that, Lin Rei tactfully operated his cultivation and instantly used the dragon-subduing steps. The 6 azure dragons that should have been there merged into one at this moment. Lin Rei was stunned, but he didn't care too much. After all, this kind of cultivation technique didn't have much use for him. It could even be said that it was useless. Whoosh! Riding the azure dragon, Lin Rei's figure disappeared from the cave in an instant and rushed towards the entrance of the cave. His speed was so fast that it made people's hair stand on end. If the earth corpse saw Lin Rei's speed, it would probably open its mouth and have a face full of shock. Because its speed compared to Lin Rei's was like one was the sky and the other was the earth. Lin Rei was the sky and the earth corpse was the earth. The two of them couldn't be compared at all. Woo! At this moment, a dragon's roar came from the azure dragon under Lin Rei's feet. Regarding this, Lin Rei, who was riding the azure dragon, was stunned because the azure dragon didn't have a sound in the past, and there was no such explanation in the cultivation technique's introduction. Regarding this, Lin Rei smiled slightly and revealed a refreshing feeling in his heart. After all, he had operated the dragon-subduing steps to the extreme, and it could even be said that he had imperceptibly improved it. On the other side of the cave, in the opposite direction of Lin Rei, the young man was carefully moving forward. As long as there was a slight movement, he would operate his cultivation to be on guard. This young man was none other than Jia Yang, who entered the cave to look for Lin Rei. At this moment, Jia Yang, who was moving forward, suddenly felt a powerful energy. Immediately, Jia Yang stopped moving forward and operated his cultivation to be on guard. Chapter 790. Asterisk whoosh, asterisk as he listened, an ear-piercing sound suddenly appeared. Jia Yang was startled and he immediately tried to change his cultivation to resist it. Just from what he felt just now, Jia Yang was able to determine that he did not have any energy to resist it. Fear, panic and fear appeared. His alertness became more and more intense. It was as if something was about to happen to him. Jia Yang? Suddenly, a voice rang out. The voice was filled with surprise and astonishment. Amen? Jia Yang was very familiar with the voice that suddenly appeared. Because, wasn't the voice that he was looking for Lin Rei when he entered this place? Thinking about that, a trace of excitement appeared on his face. He raised his head and looked ahead. He saw that a young man had already appeared. The scene that appeared was extremely shocking. At that moment, the young man was on top of the azure dragon's head. His body carried the domineering aura of a king. The pressure from his cultivation was so strong that Jia Yang was suffocating. Looking at the young man, Jia Yang smiled. Lin Rei, I finally found you. Seeing Jia Yang like that, Lin Rei was startled. His gaze became perplexed. He understood what Jia Yang meant. However, Jia Yang's gaze at that moment was very easy to misunderstand. At that moment, Jia Yang's gaze was filled with gentleness, expectation and excitement. This caused Lin Rei to feel even more relieved. Involuntarily, looking at the current Jia Yang, Lin Rei's body trembled. A burst of chilliness surged into his heart. Then, he involuntarily took a step back. Jia Yang was an understanding person. Seeing Lin Rei like that and the expression that Lin Rei displayed, even an idiot would understand the meaning of Lin Rei's gaze at that moment. He bitterly smiled and then explained, you don't misunderstand. No. I came here to find that after the earth corpses left, their clothes were torn. Then, 2 years later, I was afraid that something would happen to you. So, I came here to take a look, that's all. There's nothing else. After saying that, Jia Yang's expression, other than concern, was completely concealed. At that moment, after hearing Jia Yang's explanation, Lin Rei nodded his head in understanding. Then, he put his foot that took a step back and returned it to its original position. He felt relieved. Alas! But soon after, Lin Rei sighed. Looking at Jia Yang who was concerned about him, he felt a burst of guilt in his heart. After all, he had entered into cultivation and had no idea what was happening in the outside world. Furthermore, when he entered into seclusion, he did not explain anything to them. Alright, come on up. Whoosh, after saying that, without waiting for Jia Yang's response, an enormous amount of energy suddenly appeared. In the end, it wrapped around Jia Yang and placed him behind himself, allowing him to stand on the azure dragon's back. Lin Rei was already used to the Pai Xiu's attitude. After all, Lin Rei did not ask for much from the Pai Xiu. With a sigh, Lin Rei retracted his gaze from the Pai Xiu. At that moment, he did not have much time left. Although his cultivation had a temporary breakthrough, Lin Rei still had a long way to go before he could reach the Saint Realm. After stopping everyone for a long time, Lin Rei changed the topic and said solemnly, "Alright, now that the matters here are settled, let's go to the third heaven." What? You still want to go to the third heaven? Suddenly, a surprised voice sounded. Suddenly, everyone looked over curiously. They saw that the one who spoke was none other than the Heaven Master and Earth Corpse of the second heaven. Looking at the Earth Corpse, Lin Rei nodded and said, "Of course, I have already subdued you and the human corpse. Next is naturally the Heaven Master, the owner of this ancient corpse vault. Moreover, the main reason why I entered the ancient corpse vault was to find the Heaven Master, so At this point, Lin Rei smiled and did not continue. This was because he believed that even if he did not say anything, they would know what he was going to say next. You came for the Corpse King elixir? The Earth Corpse was stunned by Lin Rei's reaction and asked suspiciously. Corpse King elixir? At this moment, the human corpse was the same. He looked at Lin Rei with a puzzled gaze, as if he wanted to ask for an answer. Looking at their gazes, Lin Rei did not hide anything. Since they were already here, it did not matter if he told them. That's right, the Corpse King elixir. I came for the Corpse King elixir. Otherwise, do you think I would come here? However, to be honest, if there was no Corpse King elixir, Lin Rei might not have come here. But even if there was no Corpse King elixir, if he knew that this place could help him raise his cultivation, even if it was hell, Lin Rei would give it a try. Sigh. After receiving Lin Rei's answer, the Earth Corpse and Human Corpse sighed. The Earth Corpse replied, Lin Rei, I'm afraid you came to the wrong place this time. Regarding the Corpse King elixir, it was not my big brother who spread the news. He wanted more cultivators to come here so that we can cultivate in the future, so, oh, I know. The Corpse King elixir can't raise one's cultivation. Hearing the Earth Corpse's words, Lin Rei smiled and felt very comfortable. This was because the moment the Earth Corpse revealed the use of the Corpse King elixir, Lin Rei was sure that the Earth Corpse believed him. You know? Lin Rei's answer was completely unexpected by the Earth Corpse and Human Corpse. This was because only the three of them knew about this. Furthermore, it was the Sky Corpse who took the initiative to tell them. But now, Lin Rei knew about it. Thinking about the Yin Flame before, the Earth Corpse was even more curious about Lin Rei. However, he knew that Life Queen's subordinate was not a person who would lie. It was because of this that he allowed Life Queen to follow him. Doubts and all kinds of puzzles appeared in his mind. The feeling of annoyance from before was now multiplying. Behind him, the middle-aged man was observing Gu Feng's expression. When he saw Gu Feng's expression become heavy and gloomy, the middle-aged man quickly knelt on the ground and continued, It's true. I just received a report from the First Heaven and Second Heaven subordinates. Third Master and Second Master seem to have followed that human and are heading this way, so, alright, that's enough. Gu Feng hastily cut him off. Without another word, he rotated his cultivation base and flew toward the second heavenly layer. While I'm away, guard this place well. Remember, without my permission, no one is allowed to enter this place. You all understand. Remember, if anyone violates this, I will make them disappear from this world, even if they no longer know the feeling of death. At that moment, when Gu Feng disappeared into the horizon, his voice once again traveled into the middle-aged man's ears and warned him repeatedly. Looking in the direction Gu Feng disappeared, the middle-aged man placed his left hand on his right chest and solemnly guaranteed, Yes, Master. Don't worry, I will protect your orders to the death. Of course, Gu Feng could no longer hear his words. With Gu Feng's cultivation base, he had long since appeared 1,000 miles away. As for Lin Rei's group, they didn't know that just as they were about to leave for the third heaven, someone had already used a special method to transmit their whereabouts to the third heaven. As for Lin Rei's group, they also didn't know that the third heaven's heavenly master, who was also the ancient corpse trove's master, Gu Feng, was currently flying toward them. In Gu Feng's heart, he simply didn't believe that his brother would follow a human and listen to his orders. At this moment, Lin Rei's heart was filled with delight. That was because soon he would be able to obtain the Corpse King pill. Then he would be able to study the formations here. Perhaps he might even be able to break through to the Saint tier. Of course, Lin Rei's most important matter right now was to obtain the Corpse King pill. Then everything would be fine. Chapter 791. The group continued flying as they did not want to know that Gu Feng was getting closer to them. The Earth corpse following behind Linley had a troubled expression on its face. At this moment, the Earth corpse's appearance was just like the human corpse from before. Its eyes were filled with conflict and difficulty. He did not know how to explain to his elder brother that he had promised to look after his third brother's human corpse. But now he was walking on the path of a human corpse. The Earth corpse felt guilty when he thought of meeting his elder brother. If it was not for the Sky corpse who saved him, he would have perished and ceased to exist. Beside him, human corpse, who was following beside Earth corpse, sensed the conflicted emotions in second brother's heart and immediately transmitted a message to him. Second brother, I know what you're thinking, but you have to know that we've been here for too long. Although we're from the corpse clan, but we also need sunlight. Although you haven't said anything for so many years, I really hope to leave this place and step into the divine realm to experience the feeling of light. Sigh. The Earth corpse turned to look at the human corpse beside him and sighed after hearing his third brother's voice in his mind. He felt the same way. They could not break out of this damned seal. If they could, they would have left long ago instead of waiting until now and having to follow a human. He did not speak. He knew that as long as he spoke, the human corpse would be more interested in the outside world. At this moment it was still unknown whether Lin Ray could bring them out. The Earth corpse did not put all his hopes on Lin Ray. The human corpse looked at his second brother's silence and continued, moreover, our cultivation here can only reach the great perfection ultimate God or the half-saint realm. We can't break through to the saint realm. What? What did you say? How do you know? On the side, the Earth corpse was no longer calm because even he did not know about this matter. Perhaps the heavenly corpse knew, but he never mentioned it. Because of the seal, cultivators above the saint realm can't enter at all. This proves that it's wishful thinking for the corpse clan to break through to the saint realm here. Of course, there's another way. What method? The Earth corpse asked doubtfully. Looking at the Earth corpse, the human corpse said, break the seal and break free from the seal's control. That way, you can break through to the saint realm, or even better. There is no other way. Earth zombie. Speechless, the Earth corpses were speechless. Not for anything else, but because the human corpse's words were a bit superfluous. If they could break through the seal's shackles, then why would they bother to bring them here? If they were able to break through the seal, perhaps they would have already left this place and entered the beautiful and gentle God realm. At the side, the human corpse seemed to have realized that his words were a little unnecessary, so he didn't say anything else and shut his mouth. Looking at the human corpse beside him, the Earth corpse squeezed out a smile with difficulty. He didn't say anything else and focused on flying. As for the conversation between the human corpse and the Earth corpse, Lin Ray didn't know. But if he knew, he might have patted his chest and said, I can get you out of here. Of course, there was also a result, and that was, he didn't do anything. His eyes were filled with speechlessness because he didn't want to repeat what he said before because it was too troublesome. Everyone was silent throughout the journey. However, there was one person whose gaze was especially strange. He kept staring at another person, and his eyes were filled with expectation and expectation. TSK, the more I look at him, the more he seems to be my successor. At this moment, the person who spoke was none other than the Pai Xiao who already had this thought. The person who was being stared at the entire journey was naturally Jiayang. When Jiayang entered the cave by himself, the Pai Xiao was certain that this person must become his successor. Of course, Jiayang didn't know what the Pai Xiao was thinking. He also didn't want to be fancied by an expert from the desolate era. At this moment, Jiayang who was flying felt that someone was spying on him. He immediately turned his head to look. He saw the Pai Xiu looking at him with its small eyes, and its eyes were filled with concern and expectation. Suddenly, Jia Yang was stunned. He thought of some bad things and immediately increased his flying speed, trying his best to increase the distance between him and the Pai Xiu. Regarding this, the Pai Xiu felt very helpless. After all, what it thought was slightly different from what Jia Yang thought. Time quietly passed by as Lin Rei and the others flew. Originally, the journey to the third heaven would take more than 10 days. However, suddenly, a trace of an interesting smile appeared on Lin Rei's face as he stopped. At this moment, everyone saw that Lin Rei had stopped moving forward. Immediately, they all stopped as well. However, Jia Yang and the Pai Xiu were somewhat puzzled. They immediately went up and asked, "What's wrong, Lin Rei? Why did you stop? Shouldn't we have yet to reach the third heaven?" Hearing the Pai Xiu's words, Jia Yang nodded in agreement and said, "That's right. Why did we stop here?" Regarding this, the two of them were puzzled. At the same time, it was also the question that everyone wanted to ask. At this moment, everyone's gaze fell on Lin Rei. They wanted to see what he was going to do. Seeing everyone's puzzled gaze, Lin Rei smiled and said, "We don't need to go anymore." If my guess is correct, the third heaven's heaven lord, the ancient corpse trove's master, the heavenly corpse, will return soon. What? When the earth corpses and human corpses heard this, they were greatly shocked. Then, their gazes fell on their surroundings and began to scan their surroundings. Not only the earth corpses and human corpses, even the Pai Xiu, Ba Bao, jade-faced Rakshasa, Jia Yang and the others were similarly stunned. They never thought that the heaven lord that they wanted to find would actually deliver himself to their doorstep. Seeing everyone's surprised gaze and attitude, Lin Rei faintly smiled. It turned out that before, Lin Rei had released his divine sense the entire time in order to prevent any unexpected situations. But who knew that before he could do anything else, just a moment ago, a silhouette instantly streaked across the sky tens of thousands of miles away. That person's direction was exactly where they were now. In his divine sense, Lin Rei clearly sensed that the silhouette's cultivation was at least in the late hierarch realm. However, it did not include whether it was in the half-step saint realm or not. Because in the ancient corpse trove, other than the saint realm, anyone below the saint realm could break through. Looking at the silhouette, Lin Rei had a guess in his heart. After all, in the ancient corpse trove, other than the ancient corpse trove's master, Lin Rei could not think of anyone else who could have such a cultivation. Sure enough, not long after Lin Rei became silent, a silhouette rapidly streaked across the sky and rushed towards Lin Rei and the others. Its speed was so fast that it made people speechless. Damn, this person's cultivation, this speed. At this moment, Jia Yang, who was beside Lin Rei, sensed a silhouette rapidly rushing towards them from the horizon. He was stunned for a moment because he felt that the cultivation of the silhouette was very powerful. At the very least, the current him was still not a match for it. At this moment, Jia Yang was stunned. Because ever since he came to the divine world, he had already received a huge blow. Forget about Lin Rei, there was no need to talk about him. But now, there was another human corpse and earth corpse. How could he not be nervous? How could he not put in more effort? Lin Rei did not pay attention to Jia Yang's words. He turned around and faced the incoming silhouette and said to himself, "Oh, he's here. He's here." In the end, he still came. But I didn't expect him to come so quickly. At this moment, the earth corpse, who had just been reborn, saw the silhouette flying towards them from the horizon. His heart trembled and his body couldn't help but tremble. Guilt surged into his heart. At the same time, the human corpse at the side also saw the silhouette in the horizon. The two of them were very familiar with that silhouette because that silhouette was none other than the one that Lin Rei had mentioned. The master of the ancient corpse trove, the master of the third heaven, the sky corpse. Looking at their own brother, the two of them couldn't help but lower their heads. Their faces were filled with guilt. They didn't know what to say. He didn't want to ruin the relationship between the three of them because of his own choice. That wasn't what they wanted to see, and it wasn't what they were looking forward to. At the same time, the sky corpse that was rushing over from the horizon also saw the earth corpse and human corpse that were following beside Lin Rei. At this moment, he couldn't help but recall the contents of the report that he had heard earlier. His mind went blank and his heart felt uncomfortable. It wasn't hatred. Because this feeling was as if someone had stolen something from him. It made him feel uncomfortable. At the same time, he felt uncomfortable because he didn't understand why his two younger brothers would choose a human. Without thinking too much, the sky corpse suddenly accelerated while looking at Lin Rei and the others. In the blink of an eye, the sky corpse's silhouette became faster and faster. Moreover, in the eyes of Lin Rei and the others, it became bigger and bigger. Not long after, the sky corpse finally appeared in front of Lin Rei. He stopped and looked at Lin Rei with a trace of curiosity in his eyes. He then said, "What's wrong? You're not even going to say hello after seeing your big brother?" Whoosh! Hearing this, the earth corpse and human corpse's bodies trembled violently. Then, they quickly said, Big brother." Yes. Looking at them, the sky corpse's face revealed a trace of a smile. Then, he looked at Lin Rei with intense curiosity. He was very puzzled. How could the person in front of him convince his two younger brothers who hated humans? This sovereign is Lin Rei. You're the master of this ancient corpse trove, the sky corpse? At this moment, without waiting for the sky corpse to speak, Lin Rei asked. That's right. The sky corpse didn't hide anything from Lin Rei. He said with a smile, I'm the sky corpse, the earth corpse and human corpse's big brother, Gu Feng. After introducing himself, Gu Feng didn't stop and continued, Tisk, I'm very curious. What conditions did you use to convince my two younger brothers? I understand very well, especially my third brother. He hates humans very much. I don't understand why he would listen to you. If it was in the past, you probably wouldn't even have to say anything and would have already died in my third brother's hands. Human corpse, at this moment, human corpse was speechless. He didn't expect his big brother to be so straightforward. Moreover, he even revealed his past. However, Lin Rei didn't care about Gu Feng's words. He didn't care about what human corpse did in the past. He only cared about how human corpse would become better after following him. Of course, at the very least, Lin Rei wouldn't let human corpse go on a killing spree after entering the divine world. At the very least, human corpse wouldn't kill anyone who shouldn't be killed. However, Lin Rei wouldn't care about those who should be killed. In fact, he would even let human corpse kill as much as he wanted to. Therefore, Lin Rei didn't care about what sky corpse said at all. Looking at him, Lin Rei said with a smile, actually, the reason why I took them in was because of the special characteristics of their bodies and the ability of your corpse race. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken you in with the price of letting you leave this place. What? You can let us leave this place? Shock. It was exactly the same as the earth corpse and human corpse's expression when they first heard the news. At the same time, there was a look of disbelief in the depth of their eyes. He didn't believe that this young man who was only a middle-stage ultimate god could let them leave this dark and desolate place. Even a half-saint expert like him wouldn't dare to say that he could leave this place. He didn't believe it. He didn't dare to believe it. Lin Rei sighed as he observed the changes in Sky Corpse's expression. He explained, I know you don't believe it, but this is the truth. Before I came in, I was only a late-stage God Emperor cultivator. Now that I've been here for less than 15 years, I've already broken through to such a realm. Moreover, I don't think it's difficult to bring you out. After saying that, Lin Rei waved his hand without waiting for Sky Corpse's response. A supreme-grade venerable array instantly appeared under Sky Corpse's feet. Suddenly, a supreme-grade venerable array appeared. Lin Rei believed that even a saint would need to spend some effort to get out of this place. Moreover, Sky Corpse wasn't even a saint yet. He was at most a quasi-saint. Sky Corpse was startled when he felt the sudden appearance of the array around him. He immediately wanted to break the array, but the moment he made his move, the power that he originally released was miraculously reflected back. At this moment, Gu Feng was startled. It was his first time seeing such an array. No, rather than saying it was his first time seeing it, it was better to say that there weren't many people who knew how to set up arrays in this ancient corpse vault. But the person in front of him had such a high attainment in arrays that it was rare. He had never seen such an array before. How is it? Is my supreme-grade venerable array okay? At this moment, Lin Rei spoke. His tone revealed a trace of disdain. It wasn't that Lin Li was arrogant, but he really didn't believe that Gu Feng would be able to escape from this place. Unless Gu Feng was a formation master like him, or at a higher level than him, reaching the saint level, it would be a fool's dream to think that he could break through. At this moment, Gu Feng was speechless. It wasn't because of other reasons. It was because Lin Rei was right. Gu Feng knew that he couldn't break this array. Chapter 792. Lin Rei sneered. Looking at the distressed Sky Corpse, Lin Rei waved his hand and instantly removed the formation that trapped Gu Feng. Sigh. Feeling that his body had returned to normal and that there were no other shackles around him, Gu Feng felt a lot more at ease. Just like before, Gu Feng believed that if Lin Rei suddenly made things difficult for him at that time, he would definitely be the one to suffer. However, what Gu Feng didn't know was that if Lin Rei used the upgraded illusory spirit blood fire while he was still trapped, then, the consequences would be far beyond Gu Feng's imagination. That was because the illusory spirit blood fire was much more powerful than before after being strengthened by the Yin flame. As long as Gu Feng dared to touch the illusory spirit blood fire, then unless Lin Rei personally took it back, Gu Feng would only end up with his corpse destroyed. Looking at Gu Feng, Lin Rei's expression was calm. There was no joy, anger, or sorrow on his face. How about now? Will you follow me? Or think carefully. Promise me that I will bring you out. Both the people and the town will agree. If you don't, then I won't lose anything. However, when the time comes, you will be the one to suffer. After all, your two brothers will be leaving with me. At that time, breaking through to the Saint realm shouldn't be a problem. At this moment, although Lin Rei was giving Gu Feng a choice, it was better to say that Lin Rei was tempting him with benefits. Hearing Lin Rei's request, Gu Feng choked on the words that he wanted to say. He wanted to speak, but it was as if a hand was choking his neck, making him unable to open his mouth. Looking at the Earth Corpse and Earth Corpse, seeing that these two brothers who had accompanied him for millions of years were about to leave him, Gu Feng's heart revealed a strong feeling of reluctance. To be honest, Gu Feng was tempted by Lin Rei's request. However, he was still hesitating. He was hesitating whether this person before him could bring him out. If he couldn't, then, at this time, the Earth Corpse standing behind Lin Rei saw the hesitation on Gu Feng's face and became anxious. There was such a good opportunity in front of him. If he missed it, then they would have to part ways. He didn't want to be separated. For 1,000,000 years, the three of them had never been separated. If they were separated because of this, it would be difficult to see each other again. With that thought in mind, the Earth Corpse took a step forward and instantly arrived in front of Gu Feng. He tried to persuade him, "Big brother, this is a good thing. Why don't you agree? Third brother and I have already agreed. We don't have to think about being separated from you. If you agree, then we can be together again. Could it be that you don't want to go out?" "That's right, big brother." "You. Why are you looking at me?" At this moment, feeling Lin Rei's puzzled gaze, Gu Feng said. Looking at Gu Feng, Lin Rei smiled and said, "Nothing, I just want to ask if you have anything else to say. If you do, then say it all in one go. If not, then I'll say it." Gu Feng was speechless. Looking at Lin Rei, Gu Feng shook his head helplessly. "No, you say it." "Okay, that's good." Nodding his head, Lin Li didn't waste any more words. He immediately said, "What you said earlier, I completely agree with you. But you need to know that I, Lin Li, will definitely accomplish what I want to do. Don't worry. I have 100% confidence that I will be able to bring you out of this cage." After saying that, Lin Rei's eyes revealed a hint of hesitation and he paused. He was afraid that Gu Feng would have a strong reaction if he continued. At this moment, Gu Feng saw Lin Rei's hesitation and noticed the hint of hesitation in Lin Rei's eyes. He said, "Just say what you have to say." "Okay." Looking at Gu Feng, Lin Rei didn't hesitate and said the purpose of his visit. "I want to ask you for a Corpse King pill. Of course, I can use something of the same value to exchange for it. As long as you give it to me. This is very important to me. I wonder if you, Tisk, Corpse King pill." At this moment, Gu Feng was silent. He frowned and his face revealed a difficult expression. "What's wrong? If it's difficult, you don't have to use it. If it's difficult, then it's best." Looking at Gu Feng's difficult expression, Lin Rei's heart tightened and he suddenly became nervous. Silence. At this moment, the scene suddenly became silent. No one said anything and Gu Feng fell into silence and thought. As for the Earth corpses and human corpses, they were even more so. As for Jia Yang and the others, when they saw this scene, they naturally tactfully kept silent and didn't say anything. The scene became oppressive. Regarding this, Lin Rei's heart trembled and a trace of undetectable disappointment appeared in his heart. Sigh. However, just when Lin Rei felt that this matter might be over, the system sighed and its voice was filled with helplessness. "What's wrong?" Towards the system's sudden sigh, Lin Rei didn't understand and asked. "Are you an idiot?" "What?" Being suddenly scolded by the system, Lin Rei was stunned. Originally, this place wasn't very pleasant. Now that the system said this, Lin Rei became even more depressed. Inside the system, looking at Lin Rei's depressed appearance, the system sighed and said, "The Corpse King pill is condensed by the Corpse King's life. You make it sound so simple. Just give it to me. If that's the case, I'm afraid that in this world, only you can do such a thing." Speechless, towards the system's words, Lin Rei didn't refute. After all, this sentence was very reasonable. Then tell me, what should I do, that thing?" Looking at the sky, Lin Rei asked shamelessly. Congealed pearl, the Corpse King pill is condensed by the Corpse King's life. If you want to exchange it with the Corpse King, you can only use the congealed pearl. Only the congealed pearl can make up for the Corpse King's loss. Moreover, the congealed pearl can help the Corpse King to break through to the Saint Realm, and, saying this, the system took a deep breath and then continued, "Moreover, as long as you refine the congealed pearl, even if you break through to the Saint Realm, the lightning tribulation won't descend. Therefore, I believe that the Corpse King will exchange it with you. Lin Rei was silent. If what the system said was true, then it wouldn't be long before he found the congealed pearl. But, what exactly was the congealed pearl? He had never seen it before, how would he know where it was located? Thinking about this, Lin Rei revealed a pleading look. Looking at the sky, he said in a weak tone, "Good system, good master, you see, since you can tell me about the congealed pearl, then you must know where it is located," and even, saying this, Lin Rei's eyes lit up and said in surprise, "You have the congealed pearl, right?" "Ha ha ha," a mechanical voice laughed, and the voice was filled with joy. "You're not stupid." Saying this, the system continued, "That's right, I do have the congealed pearl, and more than one." But, Lin Rei, damn, at this moment, Lin Li already knew what the system was going to say even before it finished speaking. Looking at the pitch-black sky in the system, Lin Rei smiled bitterly and said, "Deduct as many exchange points as you want." "Good, I've been waiting for you to say this." As soon as Lin Rei finished speaking, the system immediately said, full of happiness. Hearing the system say this, Lin Rei didn't say anything. At this moment, he didn't know what to say. Ding dong, purchase of the congealed pearl, 3 million exchange points deducted. Please come again. Pfft. Lin Rei spat out a mouthful of old blood. His heart shook, and at this moment, the corner of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. 3 million ah. This wasn't 3,000 or 30,000, but 300,000. This was 3 million, how long would it take to earn it back? A feeling called heart-wrenching pain was completely reflected in Lin Rei's body. At this moment, Lin Rei was feeling this way. 3 million, if he knew this would happen, he would have killed more corpses to earn more exchange points. Unfortunately, it was too late to regret now. After the exchange points were deducted, a transparent pearl appeared in Lin Rei's hand. Sigh. Sighing, he raised his hand and looked at the transparent pearl in his hand. His face showed a trace of helplessness. But thinking that he was about to get the Corpse King pill, the two complemented each other, and in the end, the heartache lessened by a lot. "Okay, hurry up and get out." At this time, the system's voice sounded again. At this time, without waiting for Lin Rei to speak, Lin Rei felt that he had been forcefully removed by the system. Returning to his body, Lin Rei opened his eyes and looked at the silent Gu Feng. He opened his mouth and said, "I will use the congealed pearl to exchange with you." The congealed pearl can replace the Corpse King pill, and more importantly, it can allow you to reach the Sage Realm faster. More importantly, with it, you don't need to go through the lightning tribulation to break through to the Sage Realm. What? Are you serious? Upon hearing Lin Li's words, Gu Feng, who had been silent for a while, hurriedly asked. "That's right." Lin Rei didn't bluff. This thing does have such an effect. Now, it depends on whether you are willing to exchange with me or not. It is more useful than your Corpse King pill. Moreover, you can still condense Corpse King pills. Why wouldn't you accept such a deal? This. Indeed, he was moved by the congealed pearl. Not only him, even the earth corpses and human corpses were the same. This thing was like another life for them. How about it? Do you want to exchange? Lin Rei urged again. He was determined to get the Corpse King pill. For example, the congealed pearl was like another life for the corpse race, and the Corpse King pill was also like another life for Lin Rei. Time passed by slowly. After Gu Feng pondered for a while, he finally made up his mind and said, "Okay, I agree. Let's do it according to what you said." Boom, the moment Gu Feng finished speaking, a terrifying energy rushed out of his body. A purple pearl the size of an eye appeared in the air. This is the Corpse King pill? Looking at the purple pearl floating in front of him, Lin Rei was stunned. He could feel the energy coming from the Corpse King pill. Although it wasn't strong, it was at least at the level of a venerable realm treasure. This is the Corpse King pill you want. At this time, Gu Feng opened his mouth. However, unlike before, Gu Feng's voice was very weak, and his face was very pale. Looking at the weak Gu Feng, Lin Rei quickly stepped forward and supported him. He asked with concern, Are you okay? I'm just a little weak. Chapter 793. All right. Since Gu Feng said so, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. He raised his hand and handed the congealed pearl to Gu Feng and said, This congealed pearl is yours. Eat it now and refine it when you have time. All right. Thank you. Looking at the condensed pearl in front of him, Gu Feng didn't hesitate at all. After all, this was something he deserved. But in the end, Gu Feng still said thank you to Lin Li. After all, in the end, he was the one who had profited. It's nothing. Hurry up and refine it. I'll protect you. He smiled and nodded. Then, he went to the side and sat cross-legged in the air. He instantly released his divine sense and took in everything within a 10,000 li radius. Within a 10,000 li radius, any movement, snake, insect, rat, or ant, as long as it was within 10,000 li radius, it couldn't escape Lin Rei's divine sense. Seeing Lin Rei like this, Gu Feng felt grateful. He then looked at the earth corpse and human corpse. Without saying anything, he closed his eyes and stuffed the congealed pearl in his hand into his mouth. He sat cross-legged and began to cultivate. Although Lin Rei said not to refine it, at the very least, there must be a connection between the two. Only then could he use it as he wished. Seeing the sky corpse enter cultivation, everyone did the same as Lin Rei and sat around the sky corpse. At this moment, everyone's face was serious. They were afraid that they would accidentally disturb the sky corpse. The scene gradually quieted down. Lin Rei and the others all entered cultivation. However, there was one person who didn't. Instead, he slowly walked to Jia Yang's side in the air. At this moment, Jia Yang, who had entered cultivation, felt someone approaching him. He stopped cultivating and opened his eyes. What entered his eyes was a Pai Xiu. It was the desolate beast that had been paying attention to him. Looking at the Pai Xiu, Jia Yang frowned. His face was filled with confusion. He didn't understand why the Pai Xiu had been paying attention to him after he came out of the cave. Jia Yang was very sure that the Pai Xiu had started to pay attention to him when he came out of the cave. Looking at him, Jia Yang asked with confusion, Say. Senior, I wonder if I have offended you. What? At this time, Pai Xiu, who was looking at Jia Yang with a gentle smile, froze in place when he heard Jia Yang's words. His face was full of shock. He didn't understand why Jia Yang would ask such a question. I don't think so. Why do you ask? Pai Xiu asked. No? Hearing those words, Jia Yang's tensed heart relaxed. Then, he quickly said, Since you don't have any, I wonder if you have any instructions for me, senior? If you do, please tell me. If you keep looking at me like this, After saying that, Jia Yang shrugged with a troubled expression. He had an expression that said, Look at me, I'll be scared. Jia Yang already knew about the identity of the Pai Xiu. For a vicious beast that had survived since the Great Desolation era, as the current Jia Yang, he naturally had to address it as a senior. Seeing that Jia Yang was in such a difficult situation, she seemed to have thought of something. Then, she joked, that's enough. Why did you think I looked for you? Jia Yang wanted to open his mouth to reply, but the instant Jia Yang opened his mouth to say the word I, the Pai Xiu did not give him the chance to speak. That's enough. Don't say, I actually didn't look for you for anything else. Looking at Jia Yang, the Pai Xiu revealed a strange smile. However, this strange smile was not discovered by Jia Yang. If he had discovered it, there wouldn't have been such a situation. That's right. Previously, you seem to have heard Lin Rei say that there was a problem with your body cultivation, right? At this time, Jia Yang asked. In fact, he already knew about this matter. Moreover, he had specifically asked Linli about the problem with Jia Yang's body. At that time, Linli had clearly told him that the reason Jia Yang was unable to make a breakthrough in his body transformation cultivation was because of a problem with his body transformation cultivation method. If he had changed his cultivation method, then perhaps it would have been better. Of course, if he were to switch to a different type of body transformation cultivation method, he would have to start from the beginning. If he were to do so, he would need to spend a lot of time. But at the same time, the benefits he would obtain would not be small. This sentence was remembered by the Pai Xiu in his heart. It was also at that time that the Pai Xiu had the idea of accepting Jia Yang as his disciple. After all, he had been locked up in planet Aqua Blue for such a long time. His former family, friends and disciples had probably died long ago. Regarding this, the Pai Xiu did not want to be alone. Although he had Lin Rei to accompany him, he still felt that something was missing. When he saw Jia Yang, the Pai Xiu finally knew that what he lacked was a disciple. At this time, hearing the Pai Xiu's words, Jia Yang's face was filled with disappointment and loneliness. He felt very helpless about this matter. That's right. My realm has stopped at the early stage of the God realm. I have been unable to advance. I don't know why. I can also help you break through your realm. Are you willing? The sudden words stunned Jia Yang. However, within the shock, there was also excitement. Because this matter had always been an obstacle in his heart. Really? Looking at the Pai Xiu, Jia Yang lied with suspicion. It wasn't that he didn't believe it, but Lin Rei had said that he wanted to see his cultivation method. So, hearing this, the Pai Xiu rolled his eyes. With an unwilling expression, he said, "Nonsense. At least I asked Lin Rei. He said that there was a problem with your cultivation method. Therefore, there was no way for you to break through your realm. I won't look at your cultivation method. On the contrary, I will impart a new cultivation method to you. This cultivation method must be of the high grade of the sage realm. I can impart it to you if you want." Yi Shiwen smiled. After saying that, the Pai Xiu paused for a moment and then continued, "Of course, there is one thing you must know. After practicing my body transformation technique, you cannot practice other body transformation techniques. Because of this, it will lead to a battle between the two types of body transformation techniques. In the end, the only one who will be harmed is yourself." This. Jia Yang hesitated. Regarding such a good thing, Jia Yang hesitated. As the saying goes, one who is unaccountably solicitous is hiding evil intentions. Jia Yang did not believe that a pie would fall from the sky. Because of this, he would be crushed to death. Jia Yang was very cautious about this. The Pai Xiu, who was always paying attention to Jia Yang's facial expression, frowned when he saw him hesitating. Dissatisfaction appeared on his face and he said in a deep voice, "You are not willing?" No. No. Feeling the temperature around him becoming ice cold, Jia Yang quickly regained his senses and quickly opened his mouth to explain. Unfortunately, before Jia Yang could finish his words, the Pai Xiu said, "Boy, you must remember. Even the Green Lotus Sword deity valued my cultivation method very much. He did not hesitate to use his life sword scripture, the Green Lotus art, to exchange it with me. Why are you hesitating? At this moment, the Pai Xiu was really dissatisfied. He really could not understand why Jia Yang was hesitating about such a good thing. I. He wanted to say something, but just as he opened his mouth, his throat seemed to be choked by a hand and he was unable to speak. Agree with him. However, just as the Pai Xiu was dissatisfied that Jia Yang was making things difficult for him, Lin Rei, who was originally cultivating, spoke. Jia Yang, although I do not know why you are hesitating, believe in the Pai Xiu. His cultivation method is extremely powerful. Especially that Green Lotus Sword scripture. Even I would covet that thing very much. Furthermore, the Pai Xiu was born with great insight in body cultivation. I believe that his cultivation method will definitely be able to completely shatter the barrier to your realm that you will not be able to break through after you reach the divine level. Hearing those words, the Pai Xiu smiled. Gratitude that had never appeared in his eyes before appeared. Facing that, Lin Rei revealed a trace of a smile as he looked at the Pai Xiu. Next to him, Jia Yang was even more stunned. He did not expect Lin Rei to speak at this moment. Originally, Jia Yang had thought that Lin Rei had entered cultivation. However, at this moment, Jia Yang had considered Lin Rei's suggestion. Moreover, his heart started to become restless. To be honest, anyone would be moved by Guan Pai Xiu's words. Jia Yang was no exception. However, he was unable to figure out whether or not there was some sort of conspiracy behind it. How about it? Do you agree or not? There is not much time left. I will not waste time here with you. My time is very precious. Next to him, the Pai Xiu urged. Seeing the Pai Xiu and Lin Rei's current gaze, Jia Yang immediately thought of his cultivation that had yet to break through. In the next instant, a voice that came from the depths of his heart rang out. That voice told him that he must agree. This opportunity cannot be missed. If he misses it, it will not come again. If he misses this opportunity, there will not be another opportunity like this. At this instant, Jia Yang, who originally had a gaze of hesitation and doubt, had a firm expression. He raised his head and looked at the Pai Xiu. His gaze was firm and his tone was sonorous and powerful as he said, I agree. I will cultivate your cultivation method. Good. Hearing Jia Yang's words, the Pai Xiu, who had been waiting for a long time, immediately cheered loudly. Perhaps because its voice was too loud, it caused everyone aside from the heavenly corpse Gu Feng to wake up. Everyone looked at the Pai Xiu with doubtful gazes. They did not understand what had happened. However, Lin Rei knew. Seeing Jia Yang agree to the Pai Xiu, Lin Rei was extremely happy in his heart. Brat, this is what you get for not agreeing to me earlier. How could the Pai Xiu's things be so easy to take? This old brat definitely did not hold back anything good. Just watch. At this moment, it was not surprising that Lin Rei was rejoicing in Jia Yang's misfortune. All right. Since you have agreed, then go to the side with the Pai Xiu. Let him pass on the cultivation method to you. In the future, it will be up to you. At this moment, seeing how restless the Pai Xiu was, Lin Rei was afraid that they would wake up Gu Feng. Immediately, he ordered. Speechless. The Pai Xiu was speechless. However, it still followed Lin Rei's request and brought Jia Yang to the side to pass on the cultivation method. At this moment, the happiest person was none other than the Pai Xiu. Such a good seedling in front of him was about to become his disciple. How could he not be happy? Of course, although it was not on the surface, the Pai Xiu was not the kind of person who would give up so easily. Since he had given his most precious thing to Jia Yang, if he did not pay a price, would it be possible? Just like what Jia Yang thought before, there was no free lunch in this world. Moreover, it was such an expensive meal. Looking at the two people who left, Lin Rui revealed a smile. Immediately after, his gaze fell on Gu Feng. The previous episode had already passed. The scene once again became quiet. Everyone went back to cultivate. However, only Lin Rui himself was worried about Gu Feng. If it wasn't for the sudden addition of that energy, he would have died by now. However, Gu Feng did not know that all of this was because of a mistake made by the system. In the end, it was Lin Rui's fault. In this regard, Lin Rui was just making up for his previous mistake. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.